Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck Sim live stream. Today it's the 17th of May 2024. It's 3 minutes past 4 in the afternoon. We're back in Microsoft Flight Simulator in the PMDG 737. Here we are in Ethiopia. We're 12 hours behind live time because we're going to enjoy this beautiful sunset and this Eastern Africa scenery as we fly to Nairobi in Kenya, where this evening there's a VATSIM event going on here. It's not often we see ATC events here in Africa, and I always try and take part in ones in slightly different locations in Europe, where we usually spend most of our time. So yes, flights are around 1 hour 40 minutes. I'll keep you up to date with what I've been up to the last few days as well. I'm just about to start my TRE course, my become a type rating examiner. So I've been very busy. In fact, today's my first day off work as well, and yeah, I'm out of base next week on a few courses. So yes, it's going to be around hour 40 minutes as I mentioned, and yeah, the latest version of the PMDG 737. I've not flown anyone since this one. I think this is the last stream we did last week for trying out Beyond ATC. This was the current PMDG version, so no changes there. I nearly thought about taking the Zebra Mod 737, but there were these two excellent freeware airports available for both Addis Ababa here in Ethiopia and Nairobi in Kenya, so I thought we'd go try them out as well. So yeah, the event doesn't start until I think another hour, but it's not here in Ethiopia, it is in Kenya, so hopefully a little bit more traffic as we fly to the capital of Nairobi. Anyway, who have we got here in chat? We've got Free Scratch. Hope you're doing well. Yes, I did notice the floating 737 there. Hopefully it's made its way back onto the ground. Luke Super, hope you're doing well. Living in the future. It's the 18th of May. Very good. You must be much further east than I am, Luke. Hope you're doing well. Tom H says hello. Hope you're doing well. 2 tons is here. Natch Chop. Matches is here. Good aircraft. Yes, of course, Matches from PMDG. When's the 777 coming out? Everyone's going to ask now in chat. Hopefully soon, and we'll jump into the PMDG 777 as soon as it's released, guys, and see what is what. Ian is here. Hope you're doing well. Alpaca's in my country. Let's go. Magnus Nilsson. Martin Scott. Rory, nice to see you here, my friend. I hope you're doing very well. Sir Edo, Hayden, Roberts, to name a few, and Magnus here right at the start. Soon, says Matthias. Yes, we want it now. Looking really good there. I've looked at some pictures online as well. Hopefully when it comes out I'll be a lot quieter and I can do some test flights in it. Marnav, hope you're doing well. It says Captain Manav this side. I'm also a real world 737 pilot. Can I join the VATSIM server too? Yes, Manav, you can always join in on the VATSIM network as well. Excellent. So here we are. If you want to know where all this scenery is from, look in the video description below. It was off the freeware website. Really nice, actually. You know, it hasn't got super detailed interiors like you do with some of them, but it sits really well, the scenery. The same with the one in Nairobi as well. But yeah, very nice landscape. We'll have to try and work out some of the locations. Look at the sun rising as well. You can see the sun just coming over the horizon in that distance. Look, it's already hitting the top of the mountains there. So cool. Why is everyone floating? Behave yourselves, children. Oh my goodness me. Right, anyway, we'll take this opportunity to jump into the aircraft. There we are. Just like so. I don't know why the emergency exit lighting is on, because the aircraft is completely cold and dark. There we are. Whoop. What a smooth transition. There we go, perfect. Into the cockpit we jump. Perfect. So I've got New Sky up and running for our virtual airline, Alpaca Airways. As you can see, I've already started the flight, so I have to try and get some points today, because my last flight wasn't very good. Didn't I got like a negative score. I think at the moment I'm like 7 out of 10, because I didn't land very well, but we'll see how we get on today. Batteries on. GPU's on the bus, electric hydraulic pumps we can pop on, landing gear lever is down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green lights, and then we check all the aircraft documentation to make sure it's all up to date. So just make sure the parking brake's set. Let's do the fault and fire tests. We have 3 squibs. We'll have the fault light here as well. Fault tape detector in op, master caution overheat detector. And the fire test is done. Fire warning lights, wheel well, engine overheat lights, all good. There's the belt, there's the fire warning lights. Yeah, the last 4 days in the sim, I've been training X777 and an X787 captain from the desert, both from the same airline. They've decided to come back to Europe. They are European and in their home bases. Now, I was learning a lot about the 777 and 787, because I was giving these guys the V1 cuts, the engine failure at V1, and at V2, and they used to, I think the 777 and 78 has some sort of auto rudder input, and basically they get to 200 feet, even if the engine's failed, engage the autopilot, and they don't have to do anything. And I was like, wow, that's just crazy, where this thing is still obviously, a stick and rudder plane. You've got to make sure you put the correct amount of rudder input to get the control column centered. It was really interesting hearing their input there on that one. Perfect. So we've done all the tests there. Let's test the attend button. So here's our operational flight plan. You can see where we are in the world, in the middle of Ethiopia, in the capital, Addis Ababa. If there's any members here, don't forget, we'll be flying into this airport this weekend. All the information's in Discord. And there's our flight southbound to the capital of Kenya, Nairobi. Weather's really nice. As I mentioned, we are 12 hours behind live time. Otherwise, it would have been a night flight, so the sun's going to rise shortly. Winds from the east. Broken clouds at 2,500 feet, 25 degrees Celsius. High pressure 1024 with no expected change at all. So let's have a look at the OFP. Here it is. Block fuel is 7845. The weather at our destination, I think, again is quite nice. The forecast. I'm just having a quick look on my mobile telephone device. They've got some CBs and maybe some thunderstorms, but that is, oh no, that is from now until 1700, and then getting better. So we'll take a bit of extra fuel for thunderstorms. It's only oh no, it is becoming. So we'll take an extra. Let's take an extra ton on top. So 7.9. Let's take 8.9 tons of fuel. So we'll go down here. Actually, you know what? We'll load up our position first. I'm just going to put this to nav quickly. What's the airport? What's the code for this airport? You've got to try and remember all of these different airport codes. Hotel Alpha Alpha Bravo. I just want to fetch this Simbri flight plan so I can get the fuel uploaded or uplifted. So HAAB, GPS left. Oh, if it will cross the equator today. Going to Nairobi, which is Hotel Kilo Juliet Kilo. There we are. Our call sign is, well, if I go flight plan request, press this. There we are. Set payload and set fuel. So 172 passengers. And I'll just put a little bit of extra fuel in. 8.9 we said. Oops, that's 9 tons. 8.9. Perfect. So we'll get back to loading up the FMC in a second. Coda, do you know if you look on the back of the tablet, there's a face engraved on it and some wiring? It's there. How do I get my... Oh my goodness me. I can't... I saw something. This? I don't know how to get a better view of that. What does it say? I have no idea. Very cool. Not Brooksnow says thunderstorms have calmed down a bit. Weather in general has cleared up in Nairobi. Yes, I did see the forecast just now, and it looks to be clearing up for the rest of the evening here as well. And look, you can see how much the sun has risen. Oh, look at that. The sun has just risen. And remember, 12 hours behind live time right now. So, let's carry on loading up or doing our pre-flight checks. So, up here, emergency exit lights armed, fueling's done now, so we'll put the centre pumps on, test the attend button, check the flaps are up, which match the indicated position, do a quick takeoff config warning check, and do the cargo fire test next. Forward aft, fire warning bell and fire warning light did illuminate. No weather radar today, so unlikely to be able to dispatch with forecast thunderstorms. Rudder radar on trim is 3 and 0. Check the gear extension door. That is locked and closed. Turn on the voice recorder. Stall warning test. Mach airspeed warning test. Check the flight recorder, that's working fine. We've already put the alignment to nav and circuit breakers on the left hand side. Perfect, there we go. Plane says, yes, finally a stream I can sort of catch. Triumphant smile. Very good, Plane. It's nice to see you here, buddy. Hope you're doing very well. So we've done all the pre-flight stuff. There's no ATC here at the moment. Well, any ATC here in Ethiopia planned. It's all in Kenya, but imagine we've got our clearance, and we'll now start loading up the flight management. Well, actually, we've got a few other things to do. Get the QNH, which is 1014, which is set. Oh no, it's 1024. Why is it showing 10? I'm pressing the magic B button. I thought that always put live weather on. Meta. Yeah, cute. Look at that. Even says 5 kilometres away. 5 kilometres, nowhere right here. Bole International, QNH is 1024, but the magic B button is giving me 1014. I thought when you press B it set the correct altimetry setting in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's got the amber box there as well, so we need to update the transition level in the FMC. So there we are. We've got the correct QNH now set, so we can sort of cross-check that against the elevation here in Addis Ababa. So Addis Ababa weather QNH is 1024 and the elevation is 7625, which is what it's showing here. So I don't know why B is saying a different QNH. Probably something to do with the altitude we're at. There we are. So it's definitely the correct QNH in the sim as well, because the elevation has displayed correctly. With this high elevation, really has a massive impact on takeoff performance. The air is a lot less dense here than compared to sea level, so a higher thrust setting than normal. And I was actually having a play around with it earlier. It's going to take ages to set the MFRA here. I was having a play around with it earlier. What's really good about the PMDG 737 tablet is you can actually set an intersection departure. Oh god, setting this is a pain in the backside. How do I quickly set this? In the real aeroplane, you hold it down and it sets quicker. It's going to take ages. I'm scrolling this wheel as quickly as I can because I want to set 8,600 feet. If I hold it down, look how slow it is at increasing. It should be much quicker than that. In the real plane, it goes up in 10-foot increments, and then it increases really quick in 100-foot increments. You'd have it set by now. I'll just keep spinning my mouse. Oh, it's really, because I'm spinning my mouse real quickly. Every time I move the mouse, it goes off the minimum selector and zooms in. How are you doing? Well, James Bryant. Good day, Capitan. I hope you're doing good. Very well, thank you. Nice to see you here. There we are. I've just gone past our present elevation. There we are. I mean, you've just wasted a minute setting the MFRA. Let's put 8620. Perfect. That's the height at which we'll accelerate in the event of an engine failure. Wonderful. Let's select traffic on to get the rings and load up the FMC. So, positions in, route, flight plan request. We've already loaded the passengers and fuel, so we'll select that route. It'll take a second to load into the sim. Hold down and scroll. What, the down arrow? What, when you say hold down and scroll? Oh, what with my mouse? The same speed. I can't notice it any quicker. Unless I'm doing it wrong. Yes, I've got a video on my phone actually. I think I was going to send to you and upload as a short showing how you select in the real plane. Maybe I'll upload it. Route uplink ready. Load. It's great having this. Oh, I forgot to set up GSX. Request boarding. So many things to do in a life of a desktop simulator pilot. There we are. Oh, why has it not said what ground services you'd like? Oh, I think they're arriving. Someone's arriving. We've got Ethiopian serving us today. Look at the shadows of the... look at the sun rising and how it's moving the shadows down. How cool is that? Look at it go. Can you see that? The sun is rising and look at the shadows going down there. That is super cool. They haven't missed a beat in this simulator, have they? I'm just quite mesmerised by that. Gaming Puppy, you're going to do the return flight? No, just the one set this evening, sir. Alex, I have a gaming laptop, so I can just scroll really quickly on my trackpad. That's very useful. Right, that's enough of staring at the shadow from the post. Route uplink ready. So, activate, I'll execute it. Departures, it'll be 07 right for us, Shala to Alpha. A lot of SIDS here. Execute departure arrivals. We're expecting a Lotus 3 Alpha. A Lotus 3 Alpha. ILS 06 expecting via... Ooh, what transition was it? I was having a look at earlier. The Jomo 2 Alpha. There we are, execute. Just check for any discontinuities. There is one here. Yeah, that's the SID to the arrival. We'll just join that up. Perfect. That'll do for now. Performance then. 0 fuel weights in, 57.4 reserves for our flight. Our alternate is Mombasa. Weather's absolutely fine. You can't look at a TAFE, can you? Only the METAR. And we need 3.2 tons to be able to divert there and arrive with our FinRes. Cost index 30. Cruising at 36,000 feet off SimBrief. Top of climb wind 101 at 20. Then go to the legs route data page to load up the average wind, which is 090 at 24. Executes. And transition altitude is 14,000 feet. I'm just going to press B again. Yeah, still setting 1014. It's weird that. I think it's got something to do with our elevation and how Microsoft Flight Simulator sets the transition altitude. I don't know. Perfect. So let's now look at the performance. So the performance tool on here is pretty neat. We can select 07 right. Now, we're going to plan an intersection departure here. So let's have a little look at the airport, and we'll make sure we're displayed here. There we are. So 07 right it's a nice long runway here. It would need to be with this elevation, 3,800 meters. We'll plan to intersect from Bravo, which is obviously going to save us probably around 2 or 3 minutes taxi time. And if you look on your charts here, the Navigraph Jefferson chart, you can see here takeoff run available 07 right from Bravo. I mean, there's non-intersection from Charlie, but I mean, Charlie's halfway down. So let's have a look at Bravo. So from Bravo, intersection 2,934 meters. So we can type this in here, 2934, and there we are. We can say we've planned for the Bravo figures, and we'll vacate from Bravo. Dry. Let's import the data from the aircraft. We'll go optimum flaps, optimum takeoff rating, no anti-ice off, packs on. Import the weather. There you go. That's saying 1024. Calculates. There you go. Look, takeoff not allowed. We're too heavy. 64,653. That's not too unsurprising with the elevation. So even though it's 2,900 meters, we can only lift 64.7 tons. So let's plan a different intersection. This is exactly how we do it on the line. Let's try from Mike. So Mike is 3339. 3339. There we are. Calculate. There we go. That's better. So that is. Look at that. Full TO. That's 26k with 27 degrees assumed. So take off 26k, 27 degrees. And look how high the M1 is. The reason the M1 is so high, it's because the engine's able to go to a higher thrust setting as the air's less dense, so you'll get higher N1s at higher elevation airports with full power. So not quite full power, slight assumed temperature, but that will work out nicely. Takeoff and flap. I think that said flap 5, didn't it? Flap 5 it did. CG is 20.1, 5.4 units. That's coming up now. Perfect, 5.4. Not BXNO, just convince Addis to come online. You should have full ATC a long way in that case. Oh, very cool. May I ask a request? Not so if you've got good communications with Addis Ababa. I forget the name. Mubarak is organising ATC for our group flight. On Sunday, we're departing at 1500 Zulu. I think they've got a lot of ATC organised already, but if you can get anything for Sudan, that would be great as well. And it's not an area which receives much ATC, but we'll be departing from Sudan and from where we're flying into now, Nairobi in Kenya. So that's all good. V-speed is set 146. And look, since we've been heads down loading up the FMC, look how much brighter it's gotten since we started streaming, which is pretty cool. Let's have a little look here in chat, see what's what. Manav, you're at gate November 8, the Kenyan Airways. Were you in the Hoverer Jet 737? I don't know. Let's see if there's anyone else around here. We've got an Alpaca Airways, Kenyan Airways, another Kenyan Airways, I think, or maybe, is that, what airline's that? No, that is Kenyan Airways. An Ethiopian, that one, sorry. Excuse my lack of knowledge of African airlines. And generic one and a Lufthansa 747. So, yeah, there's a few aircraft on the apron this afternoon. The Gaming Puppy said, hello, are you going to be doing... I answered that already. No, not the return flight, buddy. Flight deck 737. Hi, mate, I need help. I'm struggling with severe stuttering on approach and takeoff stopped sim flying because of this. Please help me if you can. See you again. Flight deck 737, I'm sorry to hear about your stuttering. I don't know what I could do to help. I know people have suffered from stuttering in Microsoft Flight Simulator. By some miracle I don't, and my settings are all set to sort of high end. That's all I do in Microsoft Flight Sim. My PC is capable of running it higher, but I want to ensure a smooth experience for you guys watching, so I sort of set it to a lower setting than what my PC could do. If outside air temperature is 21 and assumed is 27, guess it's not a lot. No, it'll be a marginal reduction, Mick, with regards to that. Excellent, so what did we get to? Performance is done, FMC's all loaded. We can now do our overhead panel scans. We'll just go to legs here. How's SimBrief? Sorry, not SimBrief. Has the boarding been completed? They're still loading the bags, but I never had any passengers come on board. That's weird. Why is GSX not coming up? My command for GSX isn't working for some reason. It was working literally 2 seconds ago. It's working now. Deboarding no longer available. Boarding passengers now. Well, I can't see them. Oh, there must be some weird bug going on with GSX. Well, it's got the rear stairs, but where was the bus with the passengers? Oh, I don't know. I don't have a GSX profile for this airport. Might be why. Anyway, there we go. Iden, you would like my PC specs. They're coming up now, sir. There you go, in chat. Let's now do the overhead panel scan. So yaw damper on. Nav transfer display switch is a normal auto fuel. I think we've got a little bit in the centre tank here. Yeah, ton in the centre, so we'll put the centre tank pumps on. AC/DC metering panels all set. We'll better crank up the APU actually with that outside air temperature. Let's turn on the window heat. Probe heat not required at this stage. Packs auto. Isolation valve auto. APU bleed is off. 36,000 feet. Oh, there was the GSX ding to tell me boarding's complete. Elevation in our destination is 5,330 feet, so another high elevation airport. Put 5350. Lighting's all set. Flight directors are on. It's an RNAV SID. I've got the runway heading and courses set. There's no ATC, so I'm going to go straight up to my cruise level, which is flight level 360. Water brake to RTO. Reset fuel flow. FMC pages are all good. Trim set. And everything's looking good down here. Perfect. Maybe it thinks you're on a jetway gate. Maybe. Matches passengers are optional. Yes. Well, we should have 172 passengers loaded via SimBrief, so I don't know where they've gone. Oh, we have Addis control online. Oh, I see ATIS as well. So let's just quickly grab the weather, and then we can grab our clearance as well. I know we've already got the weather, but we'll brief then the taxi and SID. And he'll have to remind me how to use GSX. I did a little test sector earlier, and the pushback got the direction completely wrong. It pushed in a weird direction.
To airmen. Heavy bird concentration on and around the airport.
Birds.
Pilots are advised to exercise precaution during landing and takeoff. Advise you have information alpha.
There we go,
End of information alpha.
RMP approaching use.
Addis Ababa
Parting
Bole
07
Intl
right.
Latest information alpha. At time 1500. Expect an RMP approach. RMP are available on request. Landing and departing runway 07 right. Runway 07 left closed. Transition level flight level 150.
I'm sorry, during the before start checks.
Surface wind 110 at 12.
I say 6 pumps on.
Kilometers or more. Ceiling 2,500 broken. Temperature 24.
2,500 broken.
2.10.
Looks okay to me. Okay, a few broken.
Notices to airmen. Heavy bird concentration.
Perfect. So covered information alpha. Let me just grab the clearance now from centre. Free scratch trivia question. When birds are started, are they more likely to climb or descend? Climb, free scratch. According to my operator's ops manual. Here's a question for you. Oh, you lot in chat then. If birds are reported on short final and you're at 3 miles, do you continue or go around? I'll get the clearance once you mill over that. What's the name of the centre? It's Bole Radar. Bole Radar, very good evening. Alpaca 17 November Alpha in Addis Ababa. Stand 59. Copied information Alpha QNH 1024. Departure clearance to Nairobi.
Alpaca 17 November Alpha, Bole Radar, very good evening to you. You're cleared to Nairobi by the Shutdown T Alpha departure 07 right. Climb flight level 360, squawk 5526.
Cleared to Nairobi on the Shala 3 Alpha departure off 07 right. Climb flight level 360, squawk 5526, Alpaca 17 November Alpha.
Alpaca 17 November Alpha, the readback is correct information Alpha, QNH 10T4, report for pushback.
Copy Alpha, QH1024, Wilco Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Perfect, so 360 set. We just need to rebrief the SID because I went for the Shallow 2 Alpha. It's now the 3 Alpha. Oh, shouldn't we have to execute that? Just make sure it has got a what? Shallow 2 Alpha?
Addis Ababa Center,
Oh,
Federal
it's doing
Delta
something
5
weird.
Mike, 5 Alpha Kilo, and stand 25 in
Where's Shallow 3 Alpha
Alpha,
gone?
400.
Something weird happened there, I don't know. Takeoff speeds right, we've been cleared on the Shallow 3 Alpha. Let me just check. Well, there definitely was a Shallow 3 Alpha, but I can't see it in the FMC. So let me just go again. Let me just select a different runway and then go from there. I'm just going to prick something completely different. There we are. Departures 07 right. I can't find the Shallow 3 Alpha. Or was it only a 2 Alpha? Yes, it continues the correct answer. I'm just having a look to see if there's any Shallow 3 Alphas here.
Thank you. With the permission, Alpha.
Yeah, Shallow 2 Alpha and Shallow 3 Alpha. I don't know what the difference is. Oh, hold on. So Shallow 3 Alpha is for 07 left. So he cleared me on a Shallow 3. That was probably an error by ATC, and that's why it wasn't coming up on the PMDG 737. So he said 07 right for departure. It's a Shallow 2 Alpha off 07 right. So it was his error. So it's a Shallow 3 Alpha. So it's just the runway. It's the same routing. There we are. There we are. Well observed, those in chaps. We'll stick with Shallow 2 Alpha. It's the same thing. But I would question that obviously in real life. I'm sure he's aware of his error. Perfect. That's all done. Make sure you reinsert the V speeds 146 set. So taxi. It's quite simply going to be pushback facing west. We'll taxi. Remember I took Mike figures. So we can either go Bravo backtrack via to Mike, or we'll say, well, look, we need full length via Alpha 1. So yeah, I think it'll be easier to go taxi full length via Alpha 1 this evening. And then the SID is the Shallow 2 Alpha. It says climb straight ahead to 10,500 feet. Max 215 knots to avoid restricted area, which is somewhere I can't see here. Cross 10,500 on runway track, then turn right. So this is a conditional waypoint. Basically, it'll stay on track until 10,500, then command the right turn to Alpha Bravo 801, 215, so we don't overshoot it, and then Alpha Bravo 804. And then it's direct to Shallow, 73 miles, 73.6, and then 57.9, 59 to Ocknet, it says. Oh, yeah, no, sorry, that's an Eggob departure, where Shallow's got a slightly different routing to Ocknet, but the SID terminates at Shallow. Cool, we've covered everything. AP should be ready to put on the bus. And we'll now get rid of all of the ground crew and the ground equipment. So remove the chocks, that disconnect the ground power for us, and I think the door should shut automatically. Let's request or prepare for pushback and departure. He says. Well, it looks like we might have to push back with a door. Oh, it's an Ethiopian cargo 737, very cool. There's the pushback. The pushback lady. Funky Dumpling, do you ever fly from Luton? Yes, occasionally. I was there not long ago, and I got the. The chart's up. I got the Dart train, which interestingly is the UK's most expensive train journey per mile. Oh well, I'm going to have to close these doors manually. Yeah, I think GSX is having a bit of a wobbly at the moment, or maybe it does, like someone said, think it's an air bridge. How do I shut the door? I'll leave that door page open just in case it reopens. There we go. We're due out 2 minutes ago, so oh, that's an interesting steering technique. And it's getting there. That's the most important thing. Looks like Ethiopian's the only service provider here. Thanks everyone joining in as well. It's really cool to see a bit of traffic here. How hard the chance I noticed. Just camera. She walks as she's got all the time in the world. Yes, a little leisurely. Daniel, currently in Tenerife and caught you live. I was lucky enough that the FO allowed myself and my 2-year-old in the cockpit when deboarding. It's so much smaller in real life than I imagined. Yep, the 737 flight deck is quite tight. You don't want to be much taller than 6 feet. Right. I just never understand this pushback direction in GSX. So nose right means... Watch my mouse arrow. It's going to go that way, correct? So it's going to turn so the heading increases, correct? Whatever I click, it will be wrong. But I always get so confused. Can't I just say face east or face west? Alright, nose right, tail left. Well, if I look backwards, no, that tail left is that way, and nose right is that way. Is it the perspective of me or the tug driver? Well, it has. I need to face this direction. If you look at the charts, look. I need to face this direction. If I go the other way, that's bad. There's no way I can do anything. So I need to face west. Your perspective, go by the tail left or right, as viewed by the pilot. It's confusing. Right. So yes or no, chat. What's happened here? Oh, it's... So I want to face... I want my nose to go right. So I want nose right, this one, tail left, correct? Nose left is left turn. No, yeah, I want nose right, don't I? The nose is the face, and nose right equals face right. Tail left. Right, that's the one we want then. Right, let's get. I better get my clearance first.
Alpaca 320, request push and start.
Alpaca 320, push start approved. Exit Charlie 1.
I need you guys to get me pushing the right direction.
Exit Charlie 1, Alpaca 320.
Alpaca 17. Awesome. Alpaca 17 November Alpha, and on stand 59 request push and start. Sorry, squawking 5526 Alpaca 17 November Alpha. I forgot that on purpose. I was hoping someone in chat would have spotted, but no one remembered. I will, madam. Stand by.
Alpaca 17 November Alpha, stand back to push. The 737 pushing behind, but you can plan for exit flight Charlie 1.
That's copied. Push. Standing by for push. Exit via Charlie 1. Alpaca 17 November Alpha. So I need to go the other direction. Damn it. Right. How do I interrupt? Yes. Oh, broke GSX now. Oh. Pfft. So GSX, why doesn't it give you the option to change the plan? Right. Well, I'm just gonna have to go straight for the pushback, guys. Quick, Tug, quick! Restart the collateral. Isn't that the little plugin that works? Oh, it's now a man. Quick, quick, quick! Oh dear. Funky, can you explain what pull forward a beam means? Yeah, so Funky Dumpling, that instruction.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for push.
Hello. Is you push back and then the tug will go in reverse gear and pull you forward a beam stand. So they'll say a beam stand. Let's imagine an instruction here. Might be, you know, Alpaca 17 November, Alpha push to side approved, facing east, pull forward to be a beam stand Sierra 10. So, and then you tell that to the ground crew and they'll do it.
You can proceed direct to Enroute. Romeo Uniform Delta Oscar Lima.
This timing should be quite good actually by the time the Kenyan Airways gets there. So does GSX have an option to edit your pushback, or does it completely control alt delete the whole program basically?
590, no worries.
I have once Lanzaro got the dancing captain. Hi Simon, it says hello. I always wondered, do you take a packed lunch with you on long sectors, or do you grab food at a destination? I imagine
Direct.
Didn't hear that. Imagine the fast turnaround doesn't always allow this. Yes, we do have quite quick turnarounds here. Definitely not enough time to leave the aircraft and get food. So I always, just like every other person on the planet, make myself a packed lunch. And I prefer to do that to know exactly what I'm eating. Right, patience, GSX. Right, so now I want nose left, tail right, correct? Yeah, you have to restart GSX to change plan. Well, that's a bit of a pain. So correct, I need to be facing east, Charlie 1, so I want nose left, tail right. Correct? Yes, I think I've got it. I'll just wait until we get out clearance. Just wait for the Kenyan Airways to request taxi. We've got Lufthansa pushing in the other direction. It's a busy little airport. Oh, I say busy little, it's quite a large airport.
Ready for taxi, Kenya 526.
There we go.
Kenya 526, taxi by Charlie 107 left, holding point Alpha.
I'll just
07 right.
leave this just in case he changes his mind.
Taxi by Charlie 107 left, and Alpha and 07 right. Keep it 157, surface wind 110 degrees, 12 knots, runway 07 right. Clear for takeoff, report able.
Ignore nose.
Clear for takeoff, Ethiopian 157 and one.
Yeah, the left right thing, mate. The brackets. If it,
Alpha 17 November Alpha, once the Kenyan Airways 1727 clears left to right, push and start is approved. Exit Charlie 1 and caution the Lufthansa 747.
once the Kenyan Airways is clear behind, push and start approved to face exit Charlie 1, Alpaca 17 November Alpha.
Release parking brakes, please.
Perfect, so we'll go below line. Packs off.
Lufthansa 590, could I just request a new
Anti-collision light on. Parking brake is just set for now. Transponder's already out of. He's clear. And we'll just be careful of the Lufthansa.
Standby.
Parking brake released. Oops.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines clear.
Perfect. That'll be the dual bleed. Off we go.
And 5
I pressed tail left. Don't tell me I pressed tail left.
5510, Lufthansa 590.
I'll get ready. If it starts facing the other way, I'll just press stop here and we'll do like a straight push. Too complicated. Look at that shadow, no! It's a thick shadow.
You're identified. Flight level 380.
Let's see which way it goes first. Just, I think I did it right. No, did it wrong. God damn it! I swear people said do it this way. Right, I'm just gonna. That'll do. God, bloody GSX confusing. Face east, face west. Please update it. That's all I've ever heard. I've never heard a control.
7 November Alpha amendment to your Pushback. You can exit by Bravo 1.
Yeah, we're just going to hold position here, and whatever's easiest for you, we'll request taxi shortly. Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Sorry about that. No, please. Right, go GSX. You are bonkers. I think I might have sheared the nose wheel off. Right.
Runway 07
I've completely broken it.
25
Now saying set.
Confirmation for a good engine start.
Oh dear, I'm just gonna, yeah. There we are, N2. There we are, oil pressure, N1.
And Ethiopian 157, airborne passing 8,700.
Jet smart. Valve goes from dim to bright and then off.
8,700 feet, climb by SID, flight level 380.
Climb by to flight level 380, Ethiopian 157.
This is where the good old shift. Oh, Schwabe, yeah, classic FSX command. Shift P2. Who remembers that? That is not a good. Oh my god! He just had a collision with it as well. Start that 132, 5, 6, 3, 2 stale, starting 1. There he goes.
Alpaca 320 request taxi to runway.
Bypass being removed.
Perfect. End 2. Control is very quiet. Oil pressure, end 1. Oh, I just missed it.
Taxi Charlie 1 onto 07 left and hold Alpha
Timber off.
07 right at Alpaca 320.
Hi Eddie, hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for your continued support as a member. I can't remember how many years you've been a member now. Is that 2 stars or 3? Regardless, that's an incredible amount of time for supporting the channel. Thank you very much, sir. And have a pleasant weekend. Thanks for popping in here. There's the pin.
526, step between 110 degrees, 12 knots, runway 07 right, left.
Just reset my view.
Clear for takeoff 07 right, Kenya 526.
Still waving. Bye. Yep, bye-bye. So, starter cut out. Monitor engine number 1, 2, 5, 6, 3, 1 and 2 stable. Let's do the before taxi flight. Okay, flaps. 2,
good
5.
evening, Nomadic 105, request type
There we are.
clearance
Flight
to Nairobi.
controls. Full forward. Full back. Left. Right. Sequence the rudders. Full right and full left. Very cool. Blank the lower DU. And then we do the before taxi checklist. I shall keep that panel lighting turned up. Circuit breaker panel off.
Nomadic 105,
the
to
full light
Nairobi
on.
via shuttle
Perfect.
Alpha, departure runway 03 right, initial climb at
At the most mocking way, considering pointing you the wrong way. Yeah, well, I was following the instructions of chat.
Squawk 3022, 3022, rest of repack.
Actually, slew is actually a really good way of doing it, Lazario, for pushback.
Squawk 3022, Nomadic 105.
Ethiopian 157, direct to roadway.
Ethiopians just waiting for this clearance.
Kilo, ready for that.
Yara Yankana, welcome aboard as a member, sir. Hope you're doing very well. Glad you enjoyed the content. You get invited to our members only Discord. Hope you enjoy using the custom merchant chat. Thank you, sir. Just going to read that
And the
back.
5 Bravo Kilo taxi via Bravo 1 hold short 07 left.
Bravo 1, hold short 07 left.
Oops, what did I just not? Pressurization mode selected. Good one. Alpaca 17 November Alpha request taxi. The modelling is awesome.
Alpaca 17 November Alpha, you can follow the Lufthansa Boeing 747 taxi via Bravo 1 hold short 07.
Following the Lufthansa 747 via Bravo 1 and then hold short of runway 07 left Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Perfect. Turn off and taxi. There we are. Parking by release. Do a quick config check. There we go. On our way. Yeah, what flap setting has he gone for takeoff there? About flap 4.
Ethiopian 157.
And his speed brakes are up
Ethiopian
as well.
157 direct roadway.
Direct road, Ethiopian 157.
Too much thrust there, just to get it moving. Lisbon looks like a more realistic spool up time. No, I just did it very quickly. You should be able to, from ground idle, which is 20% M1, you should be able to stick it up at 40%. On the real aircraft it takes about 6-8 seconds to spool up to 40%, whereas the PMDG is about 1 second, but there's just limitations in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So if I spool up to 40... See, I find this speed is actually a little bit more realistic, but when you do the config check, the spool up time is very, very long. I think it's probably slightly different sceneries here. Look,
Flying by
that's like
SID,
there.
maintaining
It's not.
SID. I said deep speed, flyable 360. Convoy
Planes, have you tried the
flight level
12.1 beta? I
360,
haven't
Kenya
yet.
526.
I'm sat on the fence about trying the beta because every time I've tried a beta in X-Plane, it's broken loads of other things. So I've seen the graphics have improved significantly. I usually wait for the beta to become sort of no longer a beta public.
Control Nomadic 105, ready for push and start.
Automatic 105, once the
Yeah, exactly, Wooksran. That's exactly the way I describe it. The time it takes from 0 to 40 is about the same time as 100% from 0.
After the proceeding
It's not a linear curve, the relationship between thrust position and the actual thrust, and it's to do with the spool up time from lower M1s. Now, the 737 has approach idle in flight, so you never see it as low as 20 in flight, because obviously if you went to 20 on approach and then you wanted to go around, it would take too long for the engines to spool up. So approach idle is a much higher M1.
Parker 320, surface wind 110 degrees, 12 knots, runway 07 right, you're clear.
Right, let's do the before takeoff checklist.
Runway 07 right, clear for takeoff, Alpaca 320.
Config check, flaps 5.5, green light, stab trim is 5.4 units set, takeoff briefing, Pax auto bleeds on.
Good time to 5, Bravo Kilo taxi 07 left, hold the point Alpha 07 right.
Just want to see what they say.
Taxi 07 left, hold the point Alpha 07 right, Lufthansa 5, Bravo Kilo.
We're just going to hold a Bravo 1 here. So they
Alpha 7 November Alpha, taxi 07 left, hold the point Alpha 07 right, you can follow the time.
Enter runway 07 left to taxi, hold short Alpha 07 right, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. So, what they're doing here, look, they're using, the 07 left is closed, they're using this runway as a taxiway, and then we'll exit the runway to hold at 07 right, just basically follow the Lufthansa. Oh, hello VATSIM. What we were talking, I completely forgot what we were talking about. Small up times, so I can't remember, something like that. Jehu at the max is about the same. Same from ground idle 20% to 40. Engine behaviour is very similar, just lower M1s for everything. So this runway is closed, but just check that we are clear left and right. And again, this scenery is very nice freeware scenery. All the information's in the video description.
Bravo Kilo, you can line up via Alpha, hold the point 07 right.
Oh yeah, I was halfway through the takeoff briefing, that's fine. Eddie, thanks for the 25 months as a member, buddy. That is 2 years. And he says, I'm absolutely livid that on the day that the boss comes to my hometown, Nairobi, I'm on transit, can't join. Another news, my Alpaca page is on here. Very good, Eddie. Thank you. 2 years as a member. It was a bit of a short planned stream, though. I wanted to stream today, and I had a little look at the VATSIM event, so oh, cool. There's an event in Nairobi this evening. Let's take part in that one. It was a decent time as well. But thank you very much, and sorry that you couldn't join in today. Right, best finish the before takeoff check. So flaps 5.5 green light, yes, speeds we got to 41, 43, 46 is set on the MCP. The departure then is going to be the Shala 2 Alpha. Shala 2 Alpha has us taking off straight ahead to 10,500 feet. Once we're at 10,500 feet, right turn to Alpha Bravo 801, which is coded max 215 knots for that initial turn, climbing straight to our cruise level 360. Any problems will climb straight ahead. The MSA in our eastern sector is 14,000 feet, and it's 13,500 all the way around, so yes, we'll just visually manoeuvre away from the terrain. I think climbing on runway heading is probably the best idea. Good, reviewed, and cabin is secure. There we are. Checks complete. Holding at Alpha, and there is the whole point there. Alpha 07, right. Short, no more than 10 knots for the turn. SU15 comes out on the 23rd. I'm going to be at work. I'll have a look at my roster. I won't tell you what. It's my sim. I'm on another sim week, but I actually do have a flight next week for Sector Day to undisclosed French and Spanish destination.
Flight level 360, Alpaca 320.
Parking set. There's the mighty Jumbo. Is the default working title 747-800 any good? I remember we tried the 78 and it was actually alright. Maybe I should take that for a spin one day. I was thinking about today taking the Just Flight Fokker as well, but guys, I know we see a lot of PMDG 737. I guess that's what most people want to see anyway, because that's obviously what I fly, and it is from a streaming perspective nowhere near as much preparation needed. I fortunately can jump into this thing and know what I'm doing, roughly. At least a bit often. A bit Bit of weight turbulence here.
Mike 17 November Alpha behind the departure, Lufthansa 747, line up runway 07 right behind.
Behind the Lufthansa 747 via Alpha lineup 07 right behind Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Good, so he's departing. Oh, you'd hear a roar from that in real life. The plane would be shaking.
But rather nomadic 105, ready for taxi.
Good. Confirm reback, Jim. Yes, cleared to line up and wait. Clear left and clear right. Check to pull over line.
Taxi up via Bravo
So
1,
MCP
runway 07 left
is
at
set,
nomadic 105.
transponder, TARA, strobe lights are on, waiting for our takeoff clearance. Yara Yankana, how often do you spend out of home due to work an average week? It really depends. I've got 1 day out of base next week. I'd say on average 1, maybe 2 days a month. A bit more recently because I'm training myself on my. I was on an LTC course to become a training captain. Oh yes, the LTC course, passed that about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and now my examiner course. But once I'm sort of settled, maybe once, twice a month. Some people more often than others. Like so is it? It's 2 minutes, isn't it, for a jumbo, or 3 minutes? Same intersection point. I mean, it's
Direct
ATC is
Rudol,
usually on
Alpaca
it.
320.
But I'd have to look at. I'd have to look
Lufthansa
up the timings.
9,000 feet.
I think it's. Is it 4 from intersection 3 for 8474?
No, Rudol, can you
Let's look it up again.
Lufthansa 5 Bravo Kilo, you're identified. Flying via SID, line up on 367.
Say again for the Lufthansa 5 Bravo Kilo.
Let's see West Council.
Line
God
up
in
on
the
6,
sky.
360
Absolutely.
via SID.
Or Queen, I think is the word you're looking for.
Shutdown 360, Lufthansa 5 Bravo Kilo.
Awesome. Sim looks really good. That also, that would be really annoying in real life. Your sun would be right in your eyes.
Mike 7 November Alpha, runway 07 right, clear to takeoff, wind 110 degrees, small stop, triple takeoff.
Runway 07 right, cleared takeoff, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Did you say confirm airborne as well? Well, I can do that. Right, checks complete, timing. Let's go to Kenya, the capital Nairobi. Should we get at least 40%? There we are. Stabilised. Set takeoff thrust. There we are. Takeoff thrust set. Indications normal. Almost full 26k because of the elevation of this airport. Check. Release forward pressure. Runway. Where's the centre line gone on the runway? Eh? It looks like a racetrack. I can't find the centre line. Oh, there's the lines. You can see it now. Probably they're faded.
V1, rotate.
Hands off. Rotate. Maintain. Centre line with rudder. Couldn't feel a dead band today, unfortunately.
Positive rate of climb.
Gears up. LNAV. You can see the climb performance has really been impacted by the elevation already. You're already at 8,500 feet. 1,000 feet. You can bug up. Lower the nose. And trim. Alpaca 17 November Alpha airborne.
Alpaca 7 November Alpha, you're identified. Flying via SID, flight level 3.
Climb via SID to flight level 360 Alpaca 17 November Alpha. He's mega quiet. Speed check flaps 1. And the aircraft, remember, will command the right turn at 10,500 feet. This is a conditional waypoint we're flying to.
Direct Rudol,
Flaps up.
Lufthansa 5
It's 10,000
Bravo Kilo.
feet. Oh, the outer markers, middle markers, all going off here. PLIs have disappeared. The PMDG is excellent, I have to say. So good with the indications that you got on the PFD.
Mike 7 November Alpha, passing Alpha Bravo 801, direct Rudol.
after passing Alpha Bravo 808, direct to Rodal Alpaca 17 November Alpha. And there's the command at 10,500 feet. Have to be careful here, you don't want to pitch up too aggressively because you'll go straight to your stick shaker. Just make sure you're in trim for 210 knots. I recommend you don't engage an autopilot during a turn. It's not mandatory. You can if you want. It's recommended you do it when you're wings level. Because on the 737, any input on the control column, the autopilot won't engage. So we'll go at least VNAV. That will command 215 knots. Set standard. Passing 121 for flight level 360. He said after Alpha Bravo 804, I think. Well, it was definitely not 801. We'll just confirm them when we get the autopilot in. Yeah, flying very nicely. Now we got 172 passengers today. We're quite heavy. One of the things you might have to consider on departures, the speed, 215 knots. Today, the up speed, which is the clean speed, is around, what, 212, 213 knots, so we could actually retract the flaps all the way up. But you might have to consider, if it was a lower speed or if you're at a heavier gross weight, you might actually have to have left the flaps up flap 1, just to ensure that you comply with that speed restriction. Anyway, let's get the wings level. And just want to show you something about the autopilot engagement. So let me get the aircraft out of trim here. If I pitch nose down, again, I'm not happy with the trim in the PMDG. Still requires a lot more than you need. So if I make any inputs, look, if I roll the plane, look, see if I press Command A, it won't engage. So any input on the controls, Command A, look, the autopilot will never go in. If you let go, even if you're off the flight directors, look, see it's commanding a left turn. So even if I'm off the flight directors, let me just get it back in trim. If I let go and then press Command A, the autopilot will go in every single time, even if you're off the flight directors, and then it will go onto the flight directors like so. So it's something you might not have known about the 737. Right, we're best to do the after takeoff checklist as we blast through flight level 150. Gears off, water brakes off, star switches off, air conditioning and pressurization. Looks a bit funny here because of the elevation. Usually the cabin altitude would be around sea level, but look at this. Cabin altitude is already at 7,000 feet. And look how the air conditioning and pressurization system stops the cabin altitude climbing to allow the diff pressure to increase. The diff pressure will now keep increasing and follow the pressurization schedule. So it does, or is aware of your elevation. So make sure it's doing that correctly, which it is. And that's set. Release the crew, and we'll do the pre-cruise checks as well. Fuel. We have 6 pumps on, still got a little bit of fuel in the center tank, 160 kilos. Lights coming off. Verify APU's off, pressurization we've just checked and it's all set. Release the passengers, recall, checks complete. Look at the, watch your ears. Look at the scenery down here. Right, see you later, Ethiopia. We'll see you again on Sunday. Addis Ababa. And there's a volcano over there, look. Superb. Free scratch, do you usually use Command A and normal ops? As far as I'm aware, in the A320 we use the closest to us, so AP2 for FO and AP1 for captain. Exactly the same for us, free scratch, exactly the same. I just, because I'm a skipper and I'm always in the left hand seat, on the line I engage Command A and I do in the sim, but the first opposite engages Command B. Hi Brendan, thanks for your continued support as a member buddy. 13 months, afternoon captain, just moved down to Stansted for my cabin crew course, going to be a long 6 weeks for me. Best of luck with your training, Brendan. Keep us posted in Discord, and may I wish you, as I said, the best of luck. Yardy, afternoon question about the minimums knob in the 737. If you set 250 feet and then click the RST button, and should it return to 0 or back to 250? Great question. It should go back to whatever it was set to before, so there you go, 8620. which is modeled correctly in the
And
PMDG
5
737.
Bravo Kilo minimum climb correction. Minimum vertical speed 2.
So I've actually got a video I filmed in the Level D simulator because a lot of people question about the Barrow minimum selector. I think I've still got it, and I filmed it to upload as a short, and I never got around to doing it. So if you keep an eye out on the YouTube Shorts page today, I'll get around to uploading it and show you how it works.
Vertical speed 2000 feet per minute is in the 5 Bravo.
Maka 17 November Alpha, maximum vertical speed 1500 feet.
And maximum rate of climb confirmed 1500 feet per minute. Alpaca 17 November Alpha.
FM at the point.
Okay. Right, so vertical speed, he wants a maximum of 1500, so we'll set 1500. So, here's a good question for you guys. He wants 1500 feet per minute, which I can command and do, and the thrust will reduce here. What's the big threat if we leave this configuration as we get higher? What's the big threat? I'll have to keep an eye out for. Oh, look at that, that's the contrail from the 747, the Lufthansa 747. Oh look, we're overtaking. What speed is he flying at? I mean, the 747 climbs far quicker than the 73, far quicker speed. He's slowed right down. He's going to stall.
7 November Alpha for separation, 10 right heading T5 to the grid, and cancel vertical speed.
Just confirm that heading, please. Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Oops.
Right T5 0, cancel vertical speed.
Riding 250 degrees and climb at own rate at Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Well, that's interesting. He's about to fall out the sky, I swear. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Well done. List them in. Free scratch. Excess thrust. Absolutely. So the vertical speed in the 737, the aircraft will follow whatever vertical speed you set. Look at the shadows, so cool. It'll fly whatever vertical speed you set and disregard the speed. It'll do its best if the speed gets low. Well, I'll demonstrate it to you now. If I go VS, and I always teach this in the type rating, think about the donkey and the carrot. If you set a vertical speed of 3,000 feet per minute and I command it to fly 300 knots, the aircraft will give me 3,000 feet per minute. In fact, it's very good at ensuring it commands that speed. But watch this. Master fuel.
Alpaca 17 November Alpha heading 220 now.
Radar heading 220 degrees, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Notice the speed. Look, the auto throttle is commanding MCP speed, so it's set full climb thrust now, 97. Well, it should be 98.1. I don't know why it's set 97.45. And look, the speed's sliding away. So VS is a very unsafe, or what we like to say, speed unstable pitch mode. VNAV and level change are far safer.
Still right.
Is that Lufthansa's Mach number? Where's he gone? Using VS to not finesse. Yeah, VS I only never use to reduce rate of climbs approaching cleared levels, or to fly CDAs.
Log decimal 84 Lufthansa 5 Bravo.
James, did you not have a direct as well? We did, but we're now on the vector.
KLM 165, contact Nairobi 121.3, bye-bye. Contacting Nairobi Center 121.3.
Beautiful evening here. Bear in mind we are 12 hours behind live time, so right now it's 1606 Zulu on planet Earth, and we're 0406 in the sim.
Log decimal 84.
Not Joe, did I miss the answer about birds on short final? Yes, I think I did give the answer. That's the chat. It's to continue the approach. It's to continue the approach. The reason is if you decide to go around and you do have a bird strike, a bird's going to do a lot more damage to an engine at a higher thrust setting than, let's say, a lower thrust setting, such as that's on the approach. Chase, really enjoying your channel streams. Thank you very much, Chase. Hope you're doing well. Yes, if you're liking the video, don't forget to like. It's like a record player. Radar heading 190 degrees, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to stay up to date with the latest content. So sparsely populated Africa, and it's such a huge country. But it's just nice to go somewhere else, isn't it? You're welcome, Dr. Pro-streamer mode, absolutely. Eros, it's not possible to tell FMC what max rate of climb to do whilst maintaining indicated airspeed. Should be an option. Well, that's the beauty of VNAV and level change in climb. it flies the most economical speed, and this is climbing at the best rate for this speed. Now if I press max rate, it will slow down to 262 knots, which is the maximum rate of the aircraft, so the shortest time to get to flight level 360. Free scratch. For non-precision approaches, not using VNAV, would you use VS then? In the Airbus track FBA sort of does the work for us and flies us down at 3 degrees. Yes, free scratch. The only other pitch mode really you can use is vertical speed, MPAs. So VNAV is the same as the Airbus climb thrust lever position. I don't know. VS is another option.
Alpha 17 November Alpha direct Rodol with right 10 nautical mile offset.
Direct to Rudol, and we'll fly 10 miles of track to Rudol, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Very good, so that's we'll go direct to Rudol, execute, LNAV available. Now this is an unusual command in Europe, but they do use this quite a lot in other places of the world. So to fly right of track, you press route, offset, 10 miles R, execute, and look at that, it'll now generate a track right miles 10 of our existing track. This is used for North Atlantic ops, strategic lateral offset procedure, but AT use it as a way of giving you sufficient clearance. And this will now continue to fly 10 miles right of track for the rest of the sector. Cam says, Captain, level change. Do you gain control of the throttle sort of similar to the MD80 indicated airspeed mode where throttle's going to clamp? Now in climb, level change will engage M1 just like in VNAV. So if I select level change here, now if I, on the real airplane, obviously if I was to move the thrust levers would move. So if I turn on yoke cam here, but obviously I've got it selected so they don't move, and you'd override the auto throttle. But as soon as you let go, they go back to M1 automatically. In descent, you get arm, and just like sort of the MD80, you can set your thrust as you wish. We have something called common VNAV, but the beauty of common VNAV is, it'll always go to VNAV speed if you're off profile, but stay on path if you're on profile in VNAV. Daryl Hill, 1979. Hope you're doing well, sir. Enjoy your streams, mate. You learn a lot, but I'd like to know, when I'm flying, how do you get the right altimeter setting when you can't get ATIS? I use X-Plane 11. So long as you're flying with live weather, Daryl Hyde, look online at local airports and get the METAR. The METAR is the actual weather forecast at the time of recording, updated every 30 minutes or so, and that will show you the QNH. You can go off that. That would be the best way of doing it. It's exactly what I do when there's no ATC online. Where on earth are we? I can tell you we're in Ethiopia, and that is it. We are north of... It's quite built up actually here. Northeast of Hosanna. We're right over KLE Bota. It's quite a large settlement here. Duram. It's actually quite built up. See where we've just flown over. It's a lot of population. Very cool. Mo, hope you're doing well from Hotel AAA Centre. That is... Oh, Mubarak, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for helping us organise our group flight on Sunday as well. This is a bit of a warm-up. We're flying in this area in preparation for Sunday. So feel free to DM me if you have any more questions about our members' group flight, and I'll keep you posted. Flight level 360, is CPDLC available in VATSIM? Yes, in fact, this controller is using CPDLC right now. Unfortunately, it's not currently modelled in the PMDG 737. Whereas we're using offset CPDLC all day. Now, yes, I wanted to point this out though. Whenever you're flying an offset, notice how the offset light is illuminating on the FMC, so you have OFST to remind you you're flying an offset, because the routing on the legs page wouldn't Oh no, it does say offset. I don't think the real aircraft does that. Like I said, I've never flown an offset ever in 13 years, and in the sim when I demonstrate this, I don't think it says offset. It could be very much a Boeing option, I'm not sure. Bank angle 10 degrees. Luke Plant, what's your thoughts on the new sim fix that comes out? Have you tried it? Is that the SU15 for Microsoft Flight Sim or the latest Explain Beta, sir? Neither have I tried, I'm afraid. Oh, we overtook the Jumbo. White Skies, remember Hoppy worked for the PMDG aircraft, or was that for P3D? I think it was for P3D. Mubarak offset, very common, at least to East Africa, ensure separation as radar is very limited in the east near the sea. Fully understandable, sir. Yes, that would make sense. In Europe we have radar everywhere. Oh, Luke, I'm afraid I haven't tried that. Mo, no worries, you're welcome. We should try the authorization required RMP approach on Sunday, Mo. Yes, we'll have a look at that into Addis Ababa. Awesome. Well, ETA 5:38 Zulu, so that's going to be 17:38. So just a little over an hour and a half. Wow, just under. Oh, Waluka, that sounds very cool. Haven't tried it. Lanzanaria, have you ever been up to Aberdeen? I haven't. Only virtually. Easy CPDLC works well. What's that, Craig? Is that like a separate plugin? I think, isn't the PMDG 777 going to have CPDLC? And hopefully then, in time, that will be added to the PMDG 737. There's that Jumbo, look. Has he nipped ahead? Are we overtaking? Well, we shouldn't be overtaking a 747. He'll be cruising at decimal 85. We're around 78. Harry, any advice on online interviews and aptitude tests, please? I have mine this weekend for a potential new position as an SO, second officer. Very good, Harry. Best of luck. I'm afraid the last time I did any aptitude tests online was 14 years ago, and I can't remember what program it was, but it worked out well. I did some verbal reasoning papers, some GCSE mathematics stuff, and not much of that was used. But I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to tell you what's the best now available. Best of luck though with your interview. Mo, next time you should try Mogadishu as well. Very nice free scenery. We do simulate real world procedure service with no radar. Very cool. Yeah, the two sceneries you've seen, obviously Addis Ababa today. The other one completely free to download, and in fact many people have commented that the scenery in Nairobi that we're going to is better than the payware version. I don't know who makes the payware version, but yeah, the one in Nairobi requires quite a few libraries, but it isn't difficult to install. You literally just download and whack them in the community folder, and it's done. That's it.
Over to 121.3, thank you, bye-bye.
Hi Robin, hope you're doing well. Hello, this is High Flight to Sim at my airline. I won a competition to have a go at a full motion Airbus 320 A320 simulator. Cannot wait. Very cool. Excellent. Any plans on what you're going to try out in the sim? The tray table, it has to be a must. Oh, really slow climb, nearly approaching 1 to go. It is very warm here. I think the density altitude is going to be quite high. There we are, 1 to go. Look at the scenery, spectacular, isn't it? Is it all sort of savannah and scrubland? I mean, it's such a huge country, isn't it? There's a settlement up here on the right called Walasha Sodo, if you're so interested. There we go. Alan, sorry, when eating, do you need to hold a tray on your lap? Seems pretty annoying. Well, no different to if you're on I don't know, a car, back of a car or a train. Just, yeah, put my lunchbox on my lap and go from there. Perfect. There we are. Flight level 360. Whenever you reach your cruise level, just have a quick look, check your pressurization, configurations, all good. LNAV, VNAV. Make sure we're monitoring 1215. Yeah, you turn your mic, you turn your receiver on, and all looking good. Lanzario, as we were discussing earlier, I bring my impact lunch. If I was to eat all the food on board every day, I'm sure over a period of time I would not feel 100% well. But if I do forget my lunchbox, at least I do have the option. George, that is true. I completely forgot about the fact that you do actually get a table on a train. There we go. Right. Well, we'll maintain the offset. You can see we're flying that on Navigraph. And actually, most of this is... Rudol's the FIR boundary between Ethiopia and Kenya. But obviously, we're flying offset, and that jumbo is off to our left-hand side. Superb. I'll put a little bit of music on very quietly. Awesome. F1 this weekend, isn't it? The Emilio Italian Grand Prix. I can't remember the full name. Which is nice because I'm off. I'm busy tomorrow. It's my uncle's birthday, so meeting up for lunch with him. I have 2 dogs in the house at the moment. My fiance's mum's dog, who's with us, and Jack, he's downstairs now. Dylan, my fiance's mum's dog, has just had an operation yesterday. He tore his cruciate ligament and had an operation to have a hole put in here. Bless him, he was crying all night. So I'm actually quite tired today, and the vet's like got to limit his movement, keep him in a crate. So he's quite restless, but I had him in the garden this afternoon for a bit, so he's settled down quite now. Manner of arrival in Nairobi will be a Lotus 3 Alpha for 06. Perfect, thanks for that, Manav, and that's the one we are planning. The Romagna, that's it, Romagna Italian Grand Prix. Ferrari's home race, isn't it? It was practice today, but I haven't seen how things folded. I think, was it Ferrari up there, weren't they? And George Russell. CH, looks like everyone is going to Kenya. Yeah, well, that's where the event is that we're taking part in this evening. Let's have a look at how many inbounds they have. Might have to hold. I only took an extra 30 minutes for potentially some thunderstorms. Thanks, Edo. I wouldn't want to offend you. Oh yeah, I've just seen on the VATSIM map there's quite a few people on this route, and there's me with my offset. Yes, I can see they have 16 arrivals. That's good for a little, destinations.
Question 17 November Alpha. At pilot discretion, offset cancel. Proceed direct to Rodol.
Offset cancel, route direct to Rodol, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. So, what we could do is either route direct to Rodol, or you can end the offset. So what I'm going to do is go route offset and how do I actually? This is a really good question. So I've never had. I think you just delete this. There we are. Execute. Now it's going to go back onto the track, but I'm just going to direct Rudolph execute. And that 747 is going to have a higher cruise speed than us. We could step up to 380. That's another option. Oh, it's one. Yeah, the official one is at Monza. Okay, very good. Look at tops FP1 and FP2. Sonoda top 3. Wow. Mega. Yeah, Danny Ricciardo's had a slight, small resurgence, hasn't he? But yeah, he's. I think Sonoda's stronger out of the two now. Greg says, hi Cap, do you think if you put the wrong acceleration height, the aircraft would continue to climb without warning to accelerate and not retracting the flaps? When you say acceleration height, you mean in the FMC and using VNAV? Good question. We don't use VNAV for departure, but yeah, it would continue maintaining the indicated airspeed. Oh, Harry Finding Sim, if you don't mind me asking, do your films still fly? Scavenging crew. A lot has changed in my personal life, Harry, since we last spoke. But I won't delve too much into my personal details. Let's just say it's a different person. Luke, Captain, I have a question regarding the 900. I'll do my best to answer it, Luke. I've not flown the 900 before. Luke unintentionally flew into an event in Morocco the other day. It was very busy, very good. Let's head outside. Beautiful. Don't often do that outside, but he's doing. So yeah, PMDG 777, that's out soon. Flight Factor 777 should be out at some point as well. Who's going to be first? No one knows. What else have we got coming out soon? Don't know. I need to catch up. Isn't there TFDI MD11 or something? I'd like to try the Rotate MD11 again. I think that's working with the X-Plane Beta. But anyone here, any X-Plane users, how easy is it? I remember switching to X-Plane Beta, having problems, and then I tried to reinstall the non-beta version. I had so many problems. It's put me off trying the beta. Falcon, yeah, I believe so. Dom, are you doing another flight after this? No, just the one sector, sir. 6777. Robin, how would you know a method of how to set a manual offset? I've just tried it in the Phoenix 320, it's not working. That sounds like an Airbus thing. The only way of doing an offset, Robin, accurately is the way I've done it, using the offset function of the 737. Technically, you could use heading select, and you've got your MPS scales here, and this little number here is your distance from the magenta line, so you could just use heading select and just deviate that way. But I wouldn't know of any other way in the 737 of doing that. Slightly longer sector than I usually do. Top of descent is still 13, 50 minutes away. But it was nice to have a longer sector for a change, have a bit of a chat here. Luke, what is the best height to start the flare in the 900, would you say? Now, I don't know if it varies. We fly 3 variants, or I've flown 3 variants: 700, 800, and the Max, and they're all exactly the same. I dare say that if you follow the same landing technique in the 800, it'll be absolutely fine for you in the 900. And we use a technique, I don't know, most of you have heard of it before, called check, close, hold. So we actually initiate the flare at 20 feet by raising the attitude by about 2 to 3 degrees. We then smoothly close the thrust levers to idle, then hold the attitude, as V1 simulations often mocks me for. With banter aside, that works quite well, and I would recommend doing that in the 900 too. What is rapid fire 777? Thanks for that. Yeah, 23rd. What does SU-15 bring to Microsoft Flight Simulator? I know it's a big update. It's been pushed back a few times. Yeah, 23rd. It's right in the middle of my working week. Madam, any short way to set the barrow on PFD, because in Nairobi minimum is 5:30. Now I've got a Logitech mouse wheel. Others are available where I can unlock the mouse wheel, so I can spin the wheel really quickly like this. But no, holding it down without using that isn't effective. Thanks for reminding me, because I can actually set that now. Or 5:30 is the elevation. We can fine tune it later. There we go. Perfect. James, hope you're doing well. I'm still dizzy after VR. James is a good friend of mine. He came around my house the other day and he tried my VR headset. It's an interesting experience. I'm getting a bit more used to it now. A few years ago I said I'd never get one, but I went out with my fiance and we've been using it quite a bit. It's getting a bit warm now. Two tons on 12 1B2, no issues that I've found. Rotate MD11 recently updated. Cockpits remain dark as full lighting fixes and multi-stage plus third-party planes need to adjust light levels as well. Yeah, I saw the chats in Discord after I asked about it. It's a shame. Hopefully that fix will come sooner rather than later. Adam, yes. Flown it several times. It's like a sports plane. Thanks for respecting my privacy. But yeah, I've flown it probably as first officer 2 or 3 times, as skipper about 7 or 8 times. I've done some rescue flights in it, but not recently. Ah, look, it's updating the ground handling, the performance of the sim. Well, that would be good because aircraft don't handle that. I love Microsoft Flight Sim. PMDG 737 is really good now as well. I've always, an area that the sim needs to improve is handling on the ground, takeoff, landing and taxiing. It's fine. It serves as a sort of purpose, but it doesn't feel quite right in my opinion. But it works well. Oh, I'm quite curious to see how that works. We'll have to do lots of taxiing and circuits and whatnot. See if I can notice any change. Also, Rapid Fire 777 says the biggest change that I'm looking forward to is a rework of the game's memory management system. This could improve stuttering, performance, and stability over longer flights. Very cool. No, I've never done a super long haul in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've always, like for across the pond, I've always used X-Plane. But I did hear that, yeah, longer sectors is where you're more likely to suffer from stuttering in the sim. Kaniwala, hi flight to sim. I did a discovery flight last week in a 172. Loved it. Now I've got the itch. Uh-oh. Oh dear. There's only one thing that comes out of this, and that's a burning hole in your wallet. Best of luck if you do wish to pursue anything, though. Hi Simon, hope you're doing well. Afternoon, ETA. We are currently estimating to arrive at 0534 Zulu, add 12 hours to that, so that's 1734 Zulu. We don't have the overlay anymore on Microsoft Flight Simulator because I can't get it to work properly. But there we are in the world. There's the Horn of Africa on the east, currently still in Ethiopia, crossing over into Kenya. That's the boundary at Enroute very shortly. And there we are, geographically on planet Earth. Where's the equator, actually? Oh, there's an easier way to find that. Init Ref Index, POS. Are we going to cross the equator today? I can't see. Yes, we are. The equator's just north of Nairobi. So we're going to fly into the southern hemisphere today.
Minimums. Approaching minimums.
SSG Scandi. You've been a member for 40 months, so how come I've never heard of your name before? Have you in Discord? Well, thank you very much for being a member for a significant period of time. I think it's the first time I've ever seen you pop up here. Any more news on the new update for the 777V2 Super Long Haul is fun because of the planes, but yeah, it gets boring fast. Yes, I for one wouldn't wish to pursue. I'd love to fly 777-74, but long haul flying isn't for me at all. But yes, V2 for flight factor, I'm not so sure about. I know it's hopefully soon. 2 777s coming, but we're looking forward to flying both. Thank you very much for your continued support there. You've been stealthy. Are you in the Discord, SSG? And if so, would you like to be? Or have you not worked out how to be? But, all members, you are welcome to join. If you have any problems, always feel free to drop me an email. Get you in. CH, any reason why not to climb up to 380? Great question. So, our SimBrief flight plan today has us at 360. Why, I don't know. And in reality, our Lido, we use the same flight plan tool as I have set SimBrief, Lido. And it plans optimum flight levels based off loads of different parameters such as wind, height of the tropopause, temperature. ATC has a big factor and impact on that as well. And if you go to the flight plan itself, there should be an operational impact section. So you can see here, look, if I go any higher, it's not available. That usually means there isn't much of a significant saving. If you go down, look, you can see it's going to take me the same amount of time, and I'll burn an extra 35 kilos. So going up 2,000 feet for whatever reason hasn't been factored by SimBrief, the same as real life as well. So we usually stick with the OFP flight level. You're there, SSG Scanny. Very good, very good. Scrolling up here. Someone talking about DCS I saw. Flying Gas Smoke, I know it isn't a civilian sim, but the Phantom is releasing in a few days for DCS. The problem, there's no problem with DCS. DCS is an amazing game. The problem for me using DCS is its control system and setting up these aircraft. It's a lot of research and work, and that's just time I can't invest into. I've had a play of it, but you know, I'd like to get a proper. If I was to get into it, I'd like to have a proper joystick, control column, not a control column, proper joystick, and all the gear you have flying those sort of games. But yeah, it's no doubt that Phantom will be amazing. I've obviously seen a lot of videos and stuff, and they are incredible. Those add-ons in DCS. Cool. Try VR with DCS, that would be cool.
F320 body radar.
I'll back someone. Mew says, I'm flying now on X-Plane Beta 12.1 and crashed a few times. Did not like the AI aircraft sound files. Flying Tolis A340 crossed the pond now. Second go. Best of luck, Hugh. Hasso High, why is there 20% less hydraulic fluid in flight with System A? Uh-oh, technical questions. Can't ask me those. Let me try and think about this. It's to do with the fluid level in the standpipe. So if you have a leak of System A, it doesn't. You always have a bit of fluid level at the top of the standpipe. So it doesn't leak below 20% unless you have a leak in the pump or any of its lines or the standpipe as well. Then it will drop to 0. But yeah, if you have a leak anywhere else in the system, it won't go less than 20%. But I'd have to refresh my
121, this is Mercury, Center 5, Bravo Kilo, 2480C. Have a great night, bye-bye.
Flippin' heck. Well, to be fair, I have actually got VATSIM turned up very loud because the controller's quite quiet. Yeah, DCS or the hot ass is required. Falcon 1, is the 737 quiet in the cruise in real life? No. It's loud. It's the airflow. You do really need a noise cancelling headset for the longer sectors. Wow. There's no signs of civilization below us. Approaching Rudolph. It's actually nothing, look, just There's a road coming up. Has anyone here been to North Hall before? I'd hazard a guess no. Got this. Can't really see the landscape there. There's a bit of a hill off to our left in the distance. Very cool. So in what situation would you do arrival briefing and preparation on the ground? Very, very short flights, so sort of less than 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Free scratch going to head out now, thanks to stream, and good luck with the approach. Thank you very much for popping in, buddy. Enjoy your weekend, sir. SSG, or I'm on Discord now, Mr. Connected. Now that explains the stealthiness. And welcome aboard now, sir. 767 O'Neill, oh, you've been there working for a bush company here. Really? You have been to that place I mentioned, which I've already forgotten. Can't be. I can't even find it now. where was it? Was it down here? There it is. Oh yeah, but to be fair, there is a little strip there. Hey, you could well have been. I'm not accusing you of anything, sir. Aaron, I hope you're doing well. Passed my check ride last month on the 300. Oh, fantastic, Aaron. For a Canadian operator, joy to fly on your channel certainly helped my study. Oh, well, only on an unofficial basis, Aaron, I hope. Thank you very much for letting me know about that. Wow, that's amazing. You need to share some pictures if you're permitted to do so in the Discord. So, never flown the Classic. Very cool. Good one, Steve M. 767 O'Neill around the area do charters to the north of Kenya. Well, there you go. You might very well have been there. And these are going to be meteor strikes, aren't they? These sort of, or maybe volcanoes. I don't know. Sort of like you get in these areas. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking nonsense. No, that's probably more of an old ancient volcano, isn't it? You know, you have that massive crater in Arizona, don't you? The near, well, not near the Grand Canyon, but that very large crater. Daryl Hyde, have you ever thought about building a 737 home cockpit? If I'm perfectly honest, and I'm very fortunate, obviously, to do what I do for a living, I'd quite like to see the back end of a 737 these days. But yes, maybe when I retire.
Alpaca 17 November Alpha, contact Nairobi 121.3, Papa.
121.3 Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Thank you very much, JTC, and have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Perfect. Over to 1213. Perfect. Nairobi control. That's active.
And Alpaca 320, it's going to be the Lotus 3 Alpha arrival for runway 06.
That's better. Not so loud.
Lotus 3 Alpha arrival, Alpaca
I've been
320.
quite a few places here. I'm from the area but live in Europe now. Top of my head is Hagerman H Kilo Hotel Kilo close to Sub-Sahara. Oh, do we get Mount Kenya on descent? I thought that was to the south. Well, I don't know this area at all. Where is Mount Kenya? Oh, is that it there? Oh, wow. 17,000 feet. Yeah, we should get some great views today. Better check in with Nairobi. Nairobi Control, very good evening. Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Flight level 360, approaching Rudol.
Alpaca 17 November Alpha, Nairobi, good evening. It's the Lotus 3 Alpha arrival for runway 06.
Expected Lotus 3 Alpha, runway 06, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Ooh. Still a while till descent, and there we overhead Lotus, so we crossed into Kenya.
Actually, disregard, descend to flight level 240.
Darryl, I'd love to get into flying, but cabin crew was all I could muster. Too old now. Well, that's a very rewarding career nonetheless, Darryl Hyde. Have you retired now, sir, or are you still working? Hasabasa, what's the reason? D-rated climb, changed to climb around flight level 100 plus. So it happens at 15. It happens at 15,000 feet, Hasabasa. N1 will slowly climb incrementally until it gets to 15,000 feet, then you get full climb. The exact reason, I don't actually know. I certainly know as an operator, when we're cleared above 15,000 feet, we delete any restrictions to go to full climb thrust. It actually saves a bit of fuel, so you get to your cruise level a bit quicker. So, why actually is it as a system, I don't know.
Recent flight level 200.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking Kilimanjaro, sorry, not Mount Kenya. Do excuse my lack of geographical knowledge of the area. I remember we've done a flight there once on the stream in the Seminole, I think it was.
Control, hello, it's going to be the Lotus Tree Alpha arrival from 0.
Darryl, still working, not in the airline industry anymore, but best job I had. Ah, very good, sir. Perfect. So I think we're going to get very close to that small town at North Hall with that bush strip destination. Just look at the details. The details of this are very, very good.
Kenya 526 on conversion speed 260 knots or greater.
260 greater, copy, thank you, Kenya 526.
Hardly any wind
Kenya
here.
165 on conversion speed 240 knots.
Look at that, CB's up to 53,000 feet. Just don't get stuff like that in Europe. 48,000 feet. That was lovely. That's based off 1800 UTC, so in an hour or two. Cool. So, thanks for answering the questions. Just completed the Boeing 737 CBT and had more questions and answers. Time for the FCOM. Ah, best of luck, Hasso. Yeah, well, that's why you're probably asking those fresh sort of questions. It's always good as a sort of operator of the aircraft to have a sort of refresh of the technical stuff every now and then. Luke says, do you ever zero your cost index like Airbus does to get a steeper climb? No, we just leave it at the cost index assigned for the sector and adjust the speed manually as required. Luke to the right, if the vis is good, you might be able to see Lake Turkana. Oh yes, let's have a look here. I presume this is Lake Turkana. I think we should be able to see that, shouldn't we? Let's have a look. Yeah, there it is, look. All this body of water in the distance. So, it looks a lot like an ocean. It's huge. There's a little island on it as well. Wow. Can you imagine all the life living down there with different things? So huge. Cool. So we've still got a while till top of descent, 200 miles. We could start loading some stuff in though. 250 below 100 forecast winds. I'll fetch those from SimBrief. Marcos, hope you're doing well. Caribou Nairobi is. Excuse my lack of knowledge of language. Is that hello? Welcome to Nairobi, Caribou. Don't know. Hope you're doing well, so thanks for popping in. Cradle of Humanities is playing me, absolutely. I would like to visit Africa, been to Morocco, but, well, say, I have been to Africa, but East Africa I think is very magical, isn't it?
Kenya 526, thanks, contact Nairobi radar 122.
Good, winds are all in.
Minimums, approaching minimums.
122.3.
Let's just grab the METAR from Nairobi as well. 1021, lovely evening. So preset the QNH now, 1021. And we'll set the QNH as well in the FMC. Perfect. Yankee Fox, thank you for your 26 months as a member, sir. It's that time again. Thanks for another month of fun content. Quick question: do you practice smoke in the cockpit in the sim? If so, what's that like? Very good question, Yankee Fox. We do. Not during the type rating, but during some of the recurrent training sessions, we do a smoke fire fumes incident where we can insert smoke into the level D simulator. You have to let the engineers know because it can set off the fire alarm because it's very thick and it does completely fill in. And it's the same. It's the same stuff that you get in the disco smoke. There's basically smoke machines which need to be heated up and then they can generate smoke in the cockpit. And then yeah, we simulate a smoke and fire fume event where there's smoke initially. And we have a checklist called Smoke Fire Fumes Checklist, which tries to identify the source, and then if it becomes a threat and you need to get rid of it, you can. There's another checklist called Smoke Fire Fumes Removal Checklist. The problem with the Smoke Fire Fumes Removal Checklist, it can exacerbate a fire because you're increasing airflow for the aircraft. But if the smoke's that thick and you can't actually see what you're doing, you've got no choice. What we stress with this training is, anytime you have an uncontained fire, don't get bogged down with the checklist. The reason is, statistically, if you've got an uncontained fire on board, does anyone know how long you have until you lose control of the aircraft? And the reason why I stress this is, I'll show you a real world incident that happened. UPS Airlines Flight 6 is the one to remember, and we always use this as an example with smoke fire fumes. And it wasn't that long ago, 14 years ago. It's about 12 minutes, Kibbs, for uncontained fire. So let me just show you this Wikipedia article on UPS Flight 6.
Last station calling, readability.
I always reference this when I train smoke fire fumes. So hopefully you should see this as well. So UPS Flight 6, this was a flight, I think it was from Dubai, or near Dubai, look. And there was a cargo flight from Dubai to Cologne. They had an in-flight fire which caused the aircraft to crash, killed both crew members on board. They were the only two on board. First fatal crash for UPS, and the crash prompted a re-evaluation of safety procedures protecting airlines from cockpit smoke. And basically what happened was, they had was it a battery fire? I can't remember the exact cause of it. So accident, they received an ICAS fire main deck. Look at this is the thing to note here. Look at the time. At 19:15, they received a fire warning. Okay, and look, they were still flying around at 19:42. So about 25, 35, 40, about 27 minutes after they had the fire indication, they lost control of the aircraft and crashed. They flew around with a fire for 27 minutes, which is incredible, really, if you think about it. So, with the smoke fire fumes training, and after this incident, was it a lithium-ion battery thermal runaway, Harry? Very cool. Investigation. Yeah, the report indicated that the fire was caused by auto-ignition of the contents of a cargo pallet that contained more than 81,000 lithium batteries and other combustible materials. Shutdown of air conditioning pack for unknown reasons allowed smoke to enter the cockpit. Okay, so the FAA, they changed the rules regarding carrying of batteries. The aircraft revived concerns about the effects of smoke, raising the question of whether smoke hoods or inflatable vision units should be used. It states the pilot should depressurize the main cabin. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so this the root cause obviously was the lithium batteries, but what could the crew have done differently, guys? And this is what we train our pilots when dealing with smoke fire fumes. What could they have done differently once they got the fire indication and dealt with that checklist? What could they have done differently? List them in, banter. And this is the exact question I asked guys during the type rating. Okay, I reference this.
KLM 165, you seem to have gone past, you should be en route to Gulf Victor now, so turn left heading 040, I'll get you back on course.
Oh, thank you. We can also direct to Gulf Victor for that?
You could, but it's going to be a very short turn because you need to do that and then to
Yankee Fox, you got it pretty much nailed on the head. Get on the ground ASAP. Exactly. So when you have smoke fire fumes event. As I said, we have a checklist called smoke fire fumes, which tries to locate the source and to extinguish it. And then you have a smoke fire fumes removal checklist, which basically tries to remove the smoke. Anytime, if I at any point in my career have to go into the smoke fire fumes checklist, I'm declaring a mayday and I'm landing as soon as possible, regardless of the source. That's what I'm doing, and what I encourage people to do as well. Better be safe than sorry. Now, if it's something that can be extinguished by the crew, let's say a PED fire, personal electronic device fire, then that's a different matter. But if we've got an undiscovered source of smoke, there's no hesitation from my part. I'm getting that deck on the ground. Now, what we train our pilots is, again, there is a checklist to deal with finding the source, there's a checklist to deal with removing it, but any time the cabin crew come back to you, or you have an indication of an uncontained fire, there is no QRH checklist which will help you. There is no checklist for uncontained fire. You might as well pick up the QRH and chuck it in the fire. Okay, so that's what we're getting with the training. And you just do everything you can to get on the ground as soon as possible, even if it means ditching, even if it means an off-field landing. Now, thankfully, routing in around Europe, you should be able to find a runway of some description. But yeah, we really do hesitate. As you saw with that one, they actually were holding and orbiting, trying to get this fire extinguished. They got a bit too distracted by the checklist, and resultingly the fire spread, caught fire, lost control 27 minutes after the first indication. Where, had they perhaps realised the severity of the situation with the smoke coming in, they would have at least maybe attempted to ditch it in the Persian Gulf or something. So yeah, rest assured, we very much train our pilots to deal with smoke seriously, or any fire seriously. It's very serious fire in aviation. Anyway, Streamlabs says, welcome on board to Mark Luna, who subscribed. Thanks for subscribing and supporting the channel. Yankee Fox is given when I fly, it's mostly wooden plane. Maybe this isn't the question I should have asked. Brilliant. Hasso, are there cons using VNav LNav takeoff on the 737? Yeah, I mean, we don't use VNav for departure, it's just what operator doesn't. VNav automatically accelerates for you, and at the required heights there are benefits as well, but again, my operator just chooses not to use it. LNav we always use because it ensures that you are laterally flying the SID, unless other departures require something else. Right, anyway, we'll finish setting up. Sorry for the feedback on the mic. So, descent forecast, winds are in, fixings in for runway 06.
Nairobi control of 10590, PM flight level 380.
10 mile ring in, will be VMC today, 4 mile ring. 3 times our height, so at 36,000 feet, so that's going to be 108 miles roughly from top of descent.
Lotus 3 Alpha arrival.
Oh yeah, it's just before, because we've got to sort of turn left 90 degrees. That's fine. Let's have a look at this arrival then.
Oh,
that's cool.
No ATC speed restriction.
Okay, thank you.
So, let's have a look at this star. Lotus 3 Alpha, that's what we've been told to expect for runway 06. Let's go legs plan, step through it. So already routing direct to Lotus. There's Mount Kenya, as someone pointed out in chat, which is pretty cool. We're going to just do a straight line from Lotus to Tibet. That's the arrival. MSA though, be aware. Okay, look at these heights. 8,100 feet, 9,600 in the northwest sector, which is where we're coming in from, with lots of high terrain around as well. So it's very important that you respect ATC minimum cruise levels as well. And another thing which is useful to brief when there's a lot of terrain around, if you go to high, look at your grid moorers. So look at the moorer here, 15,500 feet. So if we had a rapid depressurization of some sorts, if I wasn't under radar control, I would descend to 15,500 feet to assure clear of all terrain. So it's really important when you fly into areas with high terrain, look at your grid moorers, build some situational awareness for the terrain around you. So that's it, straight line, Lotos to Tibet, Lotos to Tibet. And you can see how that looks on the plan page, and that's it. From there, I have selected the ILS 06 transition via Golf Victor. So all I've done is from the arrival, I increase the range, or decrease the range, just route direct to Golf Victor from the waypoint we're routing to, Lotus. Who's calling me? Centre. For planning purposes, expect the Tibet transition, flight level 110 by Golf Victor call for descent. Oh, very cool. 110, and what's this telling us to be at? 9534. Okay, we'll leave it at that then. And if it wants us at 110, no problem at all. Very good. Good heads up there. No readback required. Perfect. So he said Tibet transition, flight level 110 by Golf Victor, which is in the FMC. So onto the ILS chart. Golf Victor direct to Nesod. Nesod 9,100 or above. Checks in the FMC. IMDIS 7,900. Why are these so high? Look at the elevation, guys. 5,300 feet. So we'll do the post-cruise checks 10,000 feet above the ground, so at 15,000 feet. That's roughly going to be around 10 minutes before landing today. So Golf Victor onto the ILS then. 1103 is the ILS. On standby already. And we are Navex will put on standby, 13.1. There we go, perfect. Final approach course 053.
056 runway, hello. Just be advised, I do control Lockheed top down, so just give me
053, minimum's 5330. Oh, sorry, 55330. Oh, look at that. It's like I knew it was coming. Thanks, whoever it was in chat that said that. 5530. MSA we briefly touched on 9,600 to the northwest. So if we don't get vectors, we'll route via Golf Victor Nesod and Ibmis. And then Jomok,
157 when ready,
and then to Antuk. Antuk is at just 5.4 miles from the threshold. It's the final approach fix at 7,100. And again, missing from the PMDG 737 FMC. This 3-degree path should be displayed after Antuk in the FMC, and that shows you what VNAV would be following. They don't have it coded always in the PMDG. High check at 4.1 miles, 6630. We've got 6622, and the elevation 5380 at the runway.
499 Charlie.
RVR required 550 metres. In the event of a missed approach, we'll push Toga once, call go around, flat 15, set go around thrust, positive rate of climb, gear up, 400 feet engage LNAV. Tune and radius of missed approach, we'll climb on runway heading to 6,000 feet. Or November Victor VOR, whichever happens earlier, probably November Victor. And then right turn climb to 9,000 feet. To the Tango Victor VOR, which is to the south of the airfield, I guess. There it is, Tango Victor VOR, and we'll enter a hold there. Cool! Let's do some performance then. So landing en route. 06. Import aircraft details. It's really good, it puts your estimated landing weight in already. We'll select reverse credits. We'll try and import the weather. There we go. Let's have a little look at the runway then. So 06, 4,100 metres, an absolutely massive long runway here. We'll plan to vacate even at Foxtrot, it's halfway, 2,000 odd metres, probably going to be Echo. This reckons we're going to land at 2,013 metres with order rate 3. So half the length of the runway. And yeah, we're going to struggle with Foxtrot, I think. That's going to be around 1,700 metres. So I might go order break 2. 2,500. What's Echo? It's about, I'd say that's about halfway actually. No, I think we'll stick with order break 3. Take the brakes out, and then we'll roll to vacate at Echo, and then Echo Golf onto stand. Ooh, it's a very funky terminal, isn't it? And this is all this amazing freeware scenery, really, really nice. Required a few libraries, but looks very good. So, just update the performance then. 4.5, 800 kilos to burn. 61.9 is our landing weight, which I think it took into account already. Yeah, 61,875, very good. I like that fact that the tablet takes into account your estimated landing weight. Flat 30, order brake 3, second detent reverse to brake cooling. That's the briefing complete. You're welcome, Yankee Fox. Glad you found the stuff about the smoke fire fumes interesting. Hugh, I think there was an MEL for a pack failure as well, which directly caused a problem with positive pressure in the flight deck, which allowed smoke to fill the air quickly. Yeah, that's what the Wikipedia article brushed on there. So I don't know how the 747 system works. 767 O'Neill, I take it back. I think you do know your way around here. NAC VOR is right next to the Aberdare Ranges, which is part of the Great Rift Valley. Very cool. Luke, how come LNAV won't engage on the ground on some SIDS, I guess you're trying to say there. That's happened to me a few times. On some SIDS I meant. It's probably because it's not within, it's not a straight line. You do get this in real life. If you've got these SIDS, you can tell me, we'll have a look. But certain SIDS offset, I think it's 8 degrees or more. I need to double check the exact number. It won't accept LNAV. You simply departed heading select, and at 400 feet engage LNAV, and I can guarantee you it will work then. Hello, Captain Icelander. Hello. First time on your live broadcast. You on VATSIM? Yes, sir, and welcome to the stream. Harry, out of interest, are you a theoretical knowledge instructor as well as type rating? No, I'm not a TKI, just a TRI. Just a practical trainer. I do teach some ground school sessions, but I don't have the knowledge base of a TKI. Those guys know the aircraft inside out. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain, but we do have departures like that in real life where LNAV won't work. Welcome. We're often given a heads up in the airfield briefing packs. Thanks for subscribing, Jetstream Simulations. Hope you're doing well. Welcome on board. Is that jumbo that was ahead of us? Yeah, he was climbing slowly and now he's managed to get 30 miles ahead of us now. That's a really cool view, isn't it? Smart. Basso, are there 3 idle descents to the 737, 1 on ground, 2 in flight? Correct, you have ground idle, approach idle, and icing idle. And the MAX has an additional one, or well, I don't think it has an additional one, but it has engine core icing, it's called, which works completely automatically. And again, the exact M1s will vary day to day. Ground idle is generally 20%, but the EEC will give the required M1 for each phase. American Idol. Oh, listen, you're cracking out the jokes today. Not sure if you're dealing with this. PMDG 78 packs are funny on startup. I've got to have left on auto, right pack on off, and APU on. I'm trying to think about that now.
Minimums.
Just turn all packs off. You won't have any problems.
Minimums.
Approach idle and flight idle slightly different. Approach idle I think slightly higher, Harry. Ian, I think that is. Chilvers, thanks for the 42 months, buddy. Hi, Captain. Not sure how true this is, but I'm told there were extra long runways built around the world for the space shuttle to land if needed. Great question. Asking the wrong person. I think the space shuttle had designated places around the world where if they had to abort their re-entry and come down sooner or later, they had somewhere else to land. I should think that's easily accessible online, but yeah, I think they had designated airports all over the world, which obviously would have been long enough to handle an aircraft approaching a runway at 250 knots. Great fact. But thanks for your continued support, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
Ethiopia 157, descend now flight level 110.
Have y'all ever leased a space shuttle from NASA, Brendan? No.
Descend to flight level 110 to be level by squad 6 Ethiopian 157.
There we are. Inbound to Tibet now. Top of descent, not too far away.
490, descent at about 200, Lufthansa 5, Outlook.
Lufthansa 5 Bravo Kilo on the conversion, maintain speed 2.
Gravy overload. I think Gran Canaria is one of the airports that was going to accept the shuttle, if I remember correctly. Really? Very cool. Cheers, Edo. Yeah, all members. There is a members only group flight Sunday. Still plenty of free slots available. Book yours. Check Discord as well. Absolutely. Fairford was a... NASA employees were stationed at Fairford each time as a launch. It was as it was an abort location. Very cool. Yeah, and of course it needed abort locations on launch as well, didn't it? In case anything went wrong. Very cool.
And Ethiopia 157, contact Nairobi radar 122.3, bye-bye.
1273 for Ethiopia 157, thank you, bye-bye.
Hi Harry, another question for you. What is the thinking behind the PM calling starter cutout during start on the 737? Is it something I only noticed as an SOP when jump seating? Am I up last month? It's just to confirm that the starter valve has closed. So not in relation to the start switch moving to off of 56%, but when the start valve open light extinguishes here, PM just calls it out. If it doesn't, you have to do the starter valve open non-normal checklist. And inevitably go back on stand. I was enjoying that view. Jim's view. Head outside for a bit. Well, PMDG 737 has been very good so far. As we fly from Ethiopia to Kenya. Descent's coming up. Hasso Passo, what's the reason for the flight director recycle? Another very good question. The main reason we do it is the guidance it's providing isn't giving you the correct guidance to get you to the runway. It can happen for a whole multitude of reasons. If the runway point's coded in the FMC, we'll plan to use the flight directors, but they're never going to be as accurate as an ILS. So we get rid of them on hot days, cold days, because if you follow them, they might not put you on the correct path. We also recycle when there's no runway point coded in the FMC, so if you're doing certain non-precision approaches, you turn them off and on again. Now the reason we turn them back on again is if you go around and push toga, when you approach your missed approach altitude, if the flight directors are off, you lose all flight director guidance. Now if you have the flight directors off anyway and push toga, you always get flight directors, but yeah, when you get out of choir, as an FMA, the flight directors will disappear if the FDs are in the off position. Very cool. Oh, I better get some weather actually, hadn't we? Tune the 80s on box 2. 126.2. Let's have a little listen in. Why is that not working? Can I only have one radio?
And left on the 5 Bravo Kilo, descend.
Is it not modelled, the second radio?
Runway
Oh, it is.
06 in use.
Descending now,
ILS approach. Taxiway D closed. No aircraft will vacate via taxiway D.
Should work if you push this.
Transition level 100. Advise on initial contact. You have information echo. Advise on initial contact. You have information echo. Jomo Kenyatta Airport ATIS information echo. 1600 Zulu. 1080 at 7. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. 2,200 scatters. Ceiling 8,000 broken. Temperature 22. 2.19er. Altimeter 1021. Runway 06 in use.
Perfect.
Expect ILS approach. Taxiway D closed.
Taxiway where
aircraft
closed?
will vacate via taxiway D. Transition level
Taxiway D, I think it means
100.
Delta.
Advise on initial contact. You have information echo.
Do not vacate via Delta, so let's just double check that. Where's taxiway Delta? Or taxiway D? Oh, here. It says loop. Okay. It's quite a cool design though, looping off there to then vacate to the right. We won't do that then. Very good. Yeah, it's a little old, that ATIS.
Alpaca 320, request descent.
Alpaca 320.
So where's Mount
descend,
Kenya?
Flight level 210.
God, just look at... Ah, there it
Descent
is.
210,
You
Alpaca
see in the
320.
distance in the haze. Very nice. Our descent's coming up. Lovely evening we've
And
had.
Alpaca 320 on the conversion, you can maintain speed 260 knots and CPDLC terminators.
260 knots and CPDLC terminated, Alpaca 320.
Cool. Alright, top of descent coming up, 10 miles, or request descent now. We can start it going down. Alpaca 17 November Alpha, request descent.
Alpaca 17 November Alpha, descent flight level 220.
7 flight level 220, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. So that is set. And if I push out at events, it'll start descending at 1,000 feet per minute. So we've got the MPS scales option on today, which I generally do use. This is your deviation laterally and vertically. You'll notice as we've pushed out at event, the aircraft will start descending below profile,
Alpaca 320, no ATC
as you will get with the MPS scales as well.
No ATC speed restriction.
Useful for RNAV SIDs and arrivals to make sure you're on profile. Oh yes, Luke Plant, I've heard about the... I will try this Horizon 787. Is it easy to install? Because I found the Kuro mod was a bit of a pain. Well, I did that. Perfect. Brian, what is RMP and AMP? Good question. So RMP, required navigation performance, is the limits that the aircraft's position can be when flying certain profiles. So right now, because we're in the cruise, the RMP required is 1.
Nairobi control.
AMP is aircraft navigational performance. We have zero control over this. We cannot control AMP. AMP is an estimate of how accurate the aircraft's position is. So it is accurate within 0.05 miles, which is fine. So AMP is based off all the sorts of information regarding position, so IRS, DME, VOR, GPS, all of it's automated, and we just have to make sure that AMP doesn't exceed RMP. Now secondly, when we're flying RMP, we have to monitor our cross-track as well, which is just your deviation from the magenta line. And you can see here, look, your cross it's 0. There should be a number here showing your vertical deviation and cross-track error, but it's not there. And that's your deviation from the magenta line. You cannot exceed half the RMP. So if 1 mile, which is the required RMP right now, our cross-track error cannot exceed half the RMP, so 0.5. On approaches, the RMP reduces to 0.3. Because you have to obviously be more accurate, and the maximum cross-track error is half that, so 0.15 miles. Hope that makes sense. So, do you go through the whole no terms, or does dispatch do that for you and highlight things? We have to go through it ourselves, very carefully. Makes sense to install the Horizon 7.8, use the headwind installer. Oh, sounds quite simple. Cool, glad I was of assistance to you, Brian. So where do we have, or what do we have directly ahead of us? We have a large lake coming up. There we are, we're just to the east of Nakuru. Just down there, it's getting a bit cloudier over here as well. We have a lake just off our nose. Then we have a... Have you seen is this Lake Victoria? I want to say, but that's actually so massive. We look at that lake there ahead of us, and that's this tiny thing here. Look at the size of this body of water. Balmy. Captain Alexander, yes, you mentioned. I haven't had any issues myself. Everything works fine, even with an isolated pack start and cross-speed start. Awesome. Bank angle 25 degrees as we're below 30,000 feet. Remember, the elevation here is 5,300 feet. Actually, probably why my fixed ring 3 times height didn't work very well. Because of the elevation.
Level 200, Alpaca 320.
terrain around here is quite immense, isn't it? I wonder how many flights there are between Addis Ababa and Nairobi a day. Probably quite a few, isn't there? Well, we'll just keep on descending.
Alpaca 320, contact Nairobi radar 122.3. Bye-bye.
122.3, thanks for service, Alpaca 320.
So I'll pre-tune that frequency. That's what we can expect next. Harry, have you ever had your aircraft go tech down route? How is that dealt with? Logistically, yes, I have. It doesn't happen often. Aircraft are incredibly reliable, but there's a skipper
Tanzania 514, sorry for the delay.
twice, I think, in 6 years. And one of them was fixable by ourselves by instructions from maintenance control. The other one we had to wait for parts to be flown in. But the delays were minimal because our operator, they have a fleet of aircraft to position parts around if you get stuck. It's quite incredible how it all works.
Tanzania 514, correct. For your planning purposes, expect flight level 100 by...
Scotty, do you have a relationship with PMDG? Will they ever give you a pre-release for the 777? Either way, you'll fly it to us, right? Even if it comes out... I don't have any relationship with them, Scotty, too. I did ask very nicely prior to the release of PMDG 737, contacting your boss man there, whose reputation is well known, and I never got a reply. And I was on a forum post as well, and a lot of people reacted, but I never heard anything back. So I think my affiliation with the Zebra mod might have something to do with it. I don't know, but I guarantee you, when I get access to it, be it most likely when I purchase it, I will fly it several times. I think it's going to be coming out very soon, but that's what I. That's how it works.
Alpaca 17 November Alpha, descent flight level 200.
Descent flight level 200, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. So, 200 checked. I'm fortunate to work with a number of really good companies, though, quite closely. I'm very fortunate to get early access to a lot of products. So, Just Flight are very, very good at sort of... I liaise with them quite a bit and promoting their stuff and Indie Builds in the past, although I haven't heard from them recently. They're getting quite big. They used to send me stuff, but I think because I'm not a full-time content creator, I can be a bit slow to reply to some. I do my absolute best to check all the emails, but I get inundated. I'm very fortunate the fact that people would like me to try their stuff, but every week I probably get 5-6 emails, scenery reviews, products. The majority of them are things I'd never do. It's like nothing to do with flight sim, like some mobile app thing they'd like me to promote, or some internet thing. I'm like, thanks to the offer, but no thanks. So I always try to keep it on point. The second channel is there for any potential games when I do decide to refire it.
Nairobi radar 122.3. Bye bye.
122.3, thanks to the ATC, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Bye. Harry, I don't disclose anything like that, thanks for your understanding. And Nairobi approach, hello, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Descending flight level 200, inbound to Tibet, information Echo 102173. Why is that not working? I know, not quite the right frequency. 305.
P6 Romeo, contact Nairobi Control 121.3, goodbye.
Control 1213, P6 Nairobi, sir.
Nairobi approach, hello, Alpaca 17 November Alpha, descending flight level 200 Tibet, information Echo 102173.
Alpaca 17 November Alpha, Nairobi approach, hello. Expect vectors ILS Whiskey runway 06, descend flight level 100.
Expect vectors for ILS Whiskey 06, descend flight level 100, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. So, if you're in out acquire, oh no, VNAV out, that's a aircraft option, which we don't have, but the PMDG does. So 100 checked. So ILS Whiskey, I need to update this, because I think we've got a different approach selected. Yes, ILS Whiskey 06, Golf Victor transition. Execute. We'll just put Golf Victor in like that. Let's have a little look at the Whiskey approach then. I don't think there's much different. unpin that, pin this. So frequencies, courses, minimums are exactly the same. Missed approaches, climb on runway heading 6,000 feet to the VOR. Right turn 6,000. I don't actually know. It's just the transition that's different. So we've selected the Golf Victor transition. Perfect. Only thing is, I've just noticed, look at this, a bit of an offset here. So what we'll do at Golf Victor 5, look at that. It's attempting to fly that 240 knots. And look how it's overshooting the turn massively here. So what we'll do, we're going to put the speed right back to 220. And that might help with the track keeping because of the elevation. Because we're so high still, it's kept a high speed in the descent. So Golf Victor, bring that back. And that will help that. You see how that white dashed line sort of, it hasn't overshot as much, so that's really helped with the track keeping. We'll execute that. So that's nice that that's correctly modelled by the PMDG. A little bit of harm profile, but it's engaged in path, so it's going to dive there. Let's see if I sign on.
Tower, 118.7, goodbye.
Wow, look at that.
118.7,
Oh, volcano.
Bravo Kilo, bye-bye.
Sorry, I had the charts up the whole time. Amazing. This sim is superb. I can't say any of us in here will find ourselves in there one day. You never know. What's in there? Who knows? Look how it's just so many trees there. It's breathtaking scenery. I'd love to do a flight here. Sorry, Alipay, yes. I'm not very good at remembering. I've got my charts up still. This magenta line was overshooting. By putting the speed lower at Golf Victor 5, it's not overshooting as much. Right, we're about 10,000 feet above the ground now.
30, turn left heading 080.
So I'm going to do the post-cruise check. So fuel, 4 pumps, lights. Don't need the logo on. Angular bank 25.
Runway 06 and Park 320.
Set pressurization is 4.5.
Alpaca 17 November Alpha, fly heading 140 degrees.
Radar heading 140 degrees. Alpaca 17 November Alpha. So nice little shortcut, 140. Let's just update the FMC now direct to Golf Victor. It's going to put a slightly higher profile. Yeah, by about 800 feet, but it's gone to VNAV speed, that's correct. And we can keep an eye on that. We might use a bit of speed brake shortly to get back on. Hi, Josepla. Hope you're doing well. Oh, look at this.
Sorry, say again, equal sign?
Palanca.
Palanca 151, Nairobi, radar, hello, climb, flight level 19.
This is a new virtual airline, Blanca. 2 secs, guys.
100.
Alpaca 320, descent altitude 9,100 feet, QNH 1021, cleared ILS Whiskey, runway 06.
Descend 9,100. And cleared approach ILS.
Perfect. So, VNAV speed, still flying.
And the QNH is 1021.
QNH 1021,
I'll keep updated to Golf Victor just in case ATC send us there. About 600 feet. Ooh, VNAV's on a bit of a think. There we are. Keep monitoring. VNAV speed's good. Yeah, elevation here is 5,300 feet, Steve. So we're only 8,000 feet above the ground now. And I think even lower because of the terrain. But look at the
Matic 105 Nairobi, radar, hello.
sort of mesh here is so good. It looks wicked, doesn't it?
Descend flight level 100.
Also, question about the bank angle selector. When to use it? Does it affect LNAV? No, it doesn't affect LNAV. LNAV has its own angular bank protection, but it affects heading select and VOR-lock when following a radial.
Alpaca 320, contact Nairobi Tower 118.7, goodbye.
Contact Tower 118.7, next to the service Alpaca 320.
I don't think we're going to get direct Golf Victor. I'm just going to do 1,000 feet per minute now, because he's sort of not sending us towards the approach. And I'm actually going to slow down to 250. So that's our target descent speed now. Cool. Just going to sim up a little bit. Ah! Well, that's no good. Sorry, GSX. Like, so, what happens if you have a very high elevation? You want to set up your stand. Actually, I need to wait until I land actually for that. Amazing. And this makes me want to bumble around in a light aircraft even in this sim. We need to do a bush flight, group flight. I'm James. At night around November time, Nairobi often gets very low cloud fog cover, at least when I've been there in November time. Yeah, that'll be the elevation, won't it? And the humidity must get really high. So we're definitely not going to go to Gulf Victor. So what I'm going to do is just route direct to this delta point. Showing us a little bit high, but easily recoverable. Approaching 1 to go anyway.
Alpaca 17 November Alpha, turn left heading 080 degrees, establish localizer runway 06.
Left heading 080 degrees, on that heading cleared to establish on the localizer runway 06, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. So on the MPS scales, you can see here, because we're slightly right of the magenta line, 0.6 miles, you can see it's shot off there. It's not a big problem. But you can see the localizer there is the white diamond, so localizer
Nairobi on
localizer,
question 121.3, goodbye.
I'm going to extend the centre line now. So extend the centre line, you bring the waypoint you want to extend from, IMDIS, you put the final approach course in, 053, and this draws a nice long line which reflects the localizer.
140 degrees.
There you go. Localizer's alive now anyway. Localizer capture. Runway heading 053.
Alpaca 17 November Alpha, descent altitude 9,100 feet, QNH 1021, cleared ILS Whiskey, runway 06.
Descent altitude 9,100 feet, QNH 1021, and cleared ILS Whiskey 06, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Perfect, so we'll just do it. VNAV's having a bit of a ding dong, because look, we're one dot low, but this is showing me 700 feet high. So sometimes the VNAV and PMDG on the approach phase does have its moments, but again, I think this could be differences between my VNAV, well, I say my VNAV, how VNAV works on my operator and the PMDGs. The PMDG uses someone explained to me a very unpopular Boeing logic with regards to how between waypoints it will just set whatever rate of descent between two restrictions, which is very shallow. Anyway, glide slope capture, missed approach altitude. Oh crikey, I've just realised something. This is poor situation awareness on my behalf. I'm going way too fast. Speed brake. We're going to really struggle to get the speed off now because we're clean. That's a complete lack of situational awareness from me because of our height. Missed approach altitude is 9,000 feet set. So you'll notice now I've got speed brake fully extended, and look how slow it is to slow down. Clean on an ILS, the aircraft is going to run away. With flat 5 it will hold the speed, so this will just about work, I hope. We've still got 14 miles to run. Alpaca 17 November Alpha, fully established. ILS Whiskey 06.
17 November Alpha, thanks. Contact Tower 118.7, goodbye.
Tower 118.7, Alpaca 17 November Alpha, bye. So approaching 12 miles. I'm just going to take flap 1. I'm below 250. It is not ideal, but you're below the limit speed, you can do it. I'm actually going to go straight to flap 5, just because we're going to struggle to lose the speed here.
Sid 56 Romeo, Nairobi, approach hello.
Tower.
Question, radar, expect vector ILS Whiskey.
There we are, that's going to work out well. So yeah, that was a bit of a gotcha. A bit late leading off the speed, but flat 5 speed brake is going to really help now. This aircraft is incredibly slippy. 10 miles, I should be doing 200 knots, but I'm going a little bit too fast for 210. Nairobi Tower, hello, Alpaca 17 November Alpha, established, ILS Whiskey 06. Might have to drop the gear.
Alpaca 17 November Alpha, Nairobi Tower, very good evening, go out the wind through each degrees at 7 knots, runway 06, clear to land.
Runway 06 clear to land, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Pascal, so VNAV was wrong after all. No, VNAV is to do with your vertical profile, my speed was completely my fault. Right, 210 knots, flap 10. Just about got it. I think if I left it another 30 seconds, good around. But you've always got the gear as an option. 7 miles about 170, 6 miles about 160. I'll just start the flight recorder. Ah, the life of a pro streamer. It's never easy. recording. Cool. Still got the speed brake out. Perfect. Right, 6 miles, and you can see here flap 10 is just about holding the speed. I'm going to drop the gear now, 5 miles. Gear down, flat 15, max 200, so that's fine. Landing checklist, start switches, recall, speed brake, on green light. Landing gear down, 3 green, auto brake is set to 3, holding on flaps. Flap 25 initially. Look at our ground speed, look how much higher it is because of the air density. And flap 30. Perfect. Flaps, we have 30 green light, lights are on, checklist complete. I'll be honest with you, I got caught out there by the speed, 250 at glide slope capture, so I had to configure it accordingly. Awesome, so clear to land, checklist complete, disconnecting auto throttle, disconnecting autopilot. I don't know what the thrust settings are at 6,000 feet. It's going to be higher than 57% flat 30. Sort of looking through the flight director a little bit, but no, actually I think they're giving good commands. So yeah, pitch is good, the thrust is higher because of the altitude. Usually you'd have about 57%, we need to have around 60-ish here, 65. Hold the speed. Winds are nice and gentle. Nice smooth inputs. Flight director seems very sensitive. It's giving me good commands. Checked.
200. Minimum.
Continue. Keep ascending.
100. 50. 40, 30,
check,
20,
close.
10.
Ooh, fled a bit too high. Just hold the attitude, it'll settle. Ah, there we are. Speed brakes up. Reverses. Oh, minus 85 feet per minute. That was the exit I was thinking of making. No way. 100 knots. $80 knots. Manual braking. 60 knots. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nairobi, Kenya. Very nice indeed. There we are.
Pushback 17 November Alpha, welcome to Nairobi. Vacate right on Echo. Continue taxi via Golf and Hotel to the apron. Contact the apron on 121.6 on Hotel. Thank you for flying in. Have a beautiful evening.
Thank you. Vacating here at Echo, then Golf Hotel, apron on 121.6. When at Hotel, Alpaca 17 November Alpha. Thanks to ATC, sir. Bye.
Cheers.
Perfect. Very pleasant chap. Lovely little flight that was. But yeah, high energy approach. I just got a little bit distracted by, well, you lot. No, I'm joking. Well, it was a mixture of that and trying to explain things, and then I was like, oh, glide slope capture. I'm still doing 250 knots. So 250 knots is a little bit too fast with glide slope capture. You ideally want to be no more than 220, and with flap 1, at least. You know, when you're on a 3 degree ILS with flap 5 and idle thrust, the speed's quite stagnant, so 250 clean. Had I not reacted when I realised it, I would have definitely have been struggling. Yeah, recorder was on, guys. I managed to start the recorder. Don't worry, I'm a pro streamer. I was getting the recorder on in the background. I know what I'm doing. Just about. Oops, no more than 40%. Thrust required, and yeah, we'll go over to ground now, 121.6. And this is this fabulous freeware scenery, which looks really, really good. Really impressed with some of the stuff available now in Microsoft Flight Simulator. The X-Plane has the beauty of the gateway scenery being very detailed, but they are very bland. All the terminal buildings look the same, but there's quite a few good freeware ones cropping up now in Microsoft Flight Sim, which is really good to see. Right, better do the rest of the taxi and flow. He wanted me to contact ATC approaching Hotel. So we got Mike coming up first left, then Hotel second left. Let's do the cleanup flow here. So So transponder to out off. Trim we'd reset to 4 units. This can come off here. Off. Off. 9-1. Set this to 100. 4 units is set. Start switch is off. Lights off. Strobes off. Probe off. And recall. Perfect. And we'll contact ground now. Nairobi ground, hello, it's Alpaca 17 November Alpha on taxiway Golf approaching hotel.
Alpaca 17 November Hotel, welcome to Shutdown, taxi Golf Hotel, stand 8.
Golf Hotel for stand 8, Alpaca 17 November Alpha, thank you sir. Ah, that's perfect, straight in off hotel, even I can't get lost, Perfect, well, we'll crank up the APU. And I'll get GSX to do its thing. There we are. So gate 8. Request follow me. No, I know where I'm going. No problems. Harry, single engine taxi please. Hello. It's been more than 3 minutes. Yes. Alright then. See how the PMDG is single engine taxi. Oh, there's that jump. The Lufthansa 747. Now the key thing here is don't stop, keep the inertia going. There's stand 8. There we go. Turn off and taxi light can come off. There's the marshaller. Look at this freeway. This is free scenery, guys. Free scenery. Go grab it now.
Ground control changeover in progress. Have a great day, guys.
APU's available. Amazing. What's the brakes off or on?
Minimums. Approaching minimums.
Come on, I want to see the dance. Oh, cut engines. All right. Right, parking brake is set. We've got 2 blues, 1 red. Engines are dead. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nairobi, Kenya. Oh, this is not Gangnam Style music. Oh, very good. I've not seen them dance for a while, but there you go. It's hilarious. I'm yet in my career to see this. I'm not sure what that signal means, and a bow as well. Taxi and flow. No shutdown. Transit shutdown flow. That on. Transponder 2000 standby. And then anti-coal off. Yes, we'll close the flight and we'll disembark the passengers. Request deboarding. Oh, look, working air bridge as well. Completely free to download this scenery. Non-standard signal. There, it's a she there to see. Brilliant. Harry, awesome stream. Thank you for your questions. You're most welcome. I'm glad I was of assistance. Sorry I couldn't answer all your questions. There we go. Oh, I'm upside down. That was enjoyable, that. It's great. Superb sim. Oh, bit of a leap of faith though to get into the thing. I didn't even park bang on the line. Just want to see what happens. Request ground power. No, we'll leave it on the APU. There's the chocks. That's for the catering, I guess. Trade Winds Aviation Services. It's very cool, this sim. Very good. Just want to see what happens to the passengers. It could be quite amusing. Well, I never saw them get on, so maybe they're not going to appear. Have I got something set on my GSX, which means I can't see the passengers? So I didn't see them during boarding either. Well, they're meant to be getting off. Nictus, hope they got their jumping legs on. Absolutely. Gravy, which version of the Max does your operator fly? Wish not to disclose. Thank you very much. I think everyone knows. I am James. Looks pretty good. Jetway's full glass though in real life. Now to be fair, there is an option to have the full glass option, but you've got to download like a SimWorld Update 9, I think, because it uses its assets, but I'm using just the default ones here. I'm worried the GSX isn't working properly though, because we didn't have any passengers on the other sector. Let me just have a look at the GSX settings quickly. I know you won't be able to see this if I press this, but GSX settings. Let me have a look here. Simulation. Boarding density very dense. Deboarding density very dense. Should be here, just not working properly. Ah well. Flight recorder was on, that's it. Oh, seatbelt signs off. Is that why it's not working? No, I should think that's not it. But anyway, I just want to see how I scored on. I'll end the flight recorder anyway. To see how I did on New Sky. Oh yes, a perfect 10. What? Minus $189? Flight left 2 minutes late. Oh, alright, alright. I think we could. That's okay. Who finds me? But 10 out of 10. What was my butter? Look at this. 85 feet per minute. Distance and threshold. There's a bit of a long landing. It's all good. All good. There we go. Calvino, big hug from Tower. Pleasure controlling you. Oh, thank you very much, your ATC, sir. I saw the event on VATSIM this morning, and I thought I really would like to take part here. We don't often get VATSIM in this this part of the world there. Well, you know what, guys? Because a lot of you have been here, and I've not done one for a while, I'd like to just do a little giveaway. What should we do a giveaway of? A mug? Flight Deck to Sim mug? Who would like to win a Flight Deck to Sim mug? I was just thinking, actually, it's been ages since I've done a merch giveaway. Let me just set this up in the background. That's fair. What you get for staying around till the end. Let me just get this set up here in the background then. Nightbot. So giveaways to all. Excellent. There we go. So keyword. Let's have the keyword as follows. I don't know what to have. Oh, let's just have that. Enable anti-spam. Right, so type in mug in chat, lowercase or uppercase, it doesn't matter. I've enabled it now, and that enters you into the giveaway via Nightbot. Please only enter it once, because I have anti-spam enabled, which automatically marks users ineligible if they post the keyword more than one time. So only type in mug once in chat. And if you are the winner of the Flight Deck to Sim mug, get in contact with me via social media. Instagram, Facebook. No, sorry, not Facebook. Instagram or X. I accept DMs. Or if you don't have social media, you can email me. If you go to my YouTube home button, about section, you can see the email address, flightdecktosim@gmail.com, and I'll order you a mug through New Sky and get it sent to you directly. Through New Sky. What's the merch store called? I can't remember. I can't remember what it's called. I've not been on it for about a year. I think I remember my login details. What's the merch store? I've genuinely forgot what the merch store's called. It's alarming, isn't it? What's it called? Teespring. Thanks. Teespring. Thanks. Teespring. The Teespring store. I'll let it roll for a minute whilst the invisible passengers disembark the aircraft. But that was a really good flight. Great ATC. Just right. PMDG was working very, very well. Yes, I'll get off as well. Let's board both Jim and I. That's it, guys. You got it all right. Type that in there. Let it run for a few more seconds. Perfect. New Sky closed. Excellent. Best lock off VATSIM for the replay as well. Coming up. Perfect. That's done as well. Awesome. So I'll now roll the giveaway. The random giveaway from nowhere, and we'll see who the winner is. The winner is Sakana. Sakana, I think it's a regular subscriber, not even a member. So you can say unrigged in chat, please. Sakana, I don't know if you're here. Let me play my winner ding dong. There we go. Found it eventually. There we are, Sakana. congratulations, you are the winner of the giveaway. Complete silence in chat from Sakana. Well, I'm not sure what your logo is there, but I can see you are the winner. If you want to say something in chat, please do. You've got like a little blue thing with fish holding it there. So rigged to Sakada's gym, unbelievable. I can't believe I've seen that there at all. Congratulations to you. What you need to do, Sakana, is get in contact with me via social media, be it Instagram or X, or you can email flightdecksim@gmail.com. You are here, says, oh my god, OMG, very good, Sakana. So what we'll do, drop me a message and I'll get that mug sent out to you. Indeed. So thank you very much indeed for your participation in the giveaway. You never know, guys, these giveaways can come any time, any day, but it's been a while since I've done one, a regular one on views. I always do ones for the members, but here we wanted to do one here, just here last minute. I thought, let's do it there. You're going to fly Morton. No, that's it today. Captain Icelander. It's a Friday evening, and I've got 2 dogs downstairs which I need to tend to, which my fiance's just gone to go have some drinks with lady friends, which I won't join them, but I need to do a few things this weekend. But yeah, members, don't forget on Sunday I will see you then, and I'll try to squeeze another streaming maybe on Monday, but Monday's my last day off, and as I said, I'm out of base next week on one day, Tuesday, so I need to go do that. But anyway, thank you very much for coming into the stream, everyone. And before we go, we'll of course do the replay, so I'll just do this here. I'll terminate GSX by doing the restart Kootle thing, or whatever it does. Restart, that usually gets rid of it all. Excellent. Let me just load in a panel state as well. There we go. Load panel state, and we'll go here. One approach. Final. Execute, that's the one that puts it there. Perfect. Roger, have fun. Hope you're doing well. Tim Fraser's here, says hi, Flight Deck Sim. Hope you're doing very well. And nice to see you back here. Edo saying congrats as well. Mugged, says Brandon. Unbelievable. Rigged. But yes, well done to Scanza. Sakana for winning that giveaway. Right, flat 30. I'll just quickly configure this up here for the landing. And I think that's all good. Let's see if this works. Replay. There we are. I managed to just remember to turn it on just prior to flying the approach. Let's turn on the replay music as well. There we go. Yeah, it was a nice little butter. A bit of a floater. Gear warning horns. Go outside. That silences it. Very good. Nice approach actually, but it was very nice conditions. Still want the runway hold point so I can do the flyby. Tim, can you message? Tim, I don't have much time to just. I don't know what it is you want to talk about, but I will. Maybe I'll see if I got your details, Tim. I am very busy this weekend. There we are. So touchdown. Thomas, thanks for streaming. You're most welcome. Eddie, enjoying Nairobi's nightlife. It's as lit as it gets. Very good. Oh god, I don't know if you guys can hear me at all. Perfect. Oh, it's very loud. There we are. That was not bad at all. Let's just have another look. Look at the wing flags. It's mega. I like how some of the add-ons have a little tyre screech. Sakana, very good. I'll get to you as soon as I can to arrange that giveaway. Edo, check Discord, Wilco. Ah, there we are. Lovely little touchdown. Oh, I do get little tyre screeches. Yeah, we need like the shift to an X-plane view. That's wicked, that one. I hope they had that in Microsoft Flight Sim one day. So, what speed can you fully extend? Speed brakes in air, no restriction. But bear in mind, above 300 knots, you're going to have a very high rate of descent. Very good. Right. I shall pop you in the wing view so you can enjoy the approach from that perspective. There we are. Let's go from about there. Awesome stuff. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you very much for spending your Friday afternoon, evening with me here, sir, everyone. And I hope you have a great, enjoyable weekend coming up as well. As I mentioned to the members, I'll see you all on Sunday, but I'll be hanging around Discord the next couple of days. I am busy tomorrow, but I will pop in and say hello. To all the regular viewers and subscribers, thank you very much for popping in. Glad you're still enjoying the content. If you want to stay up to date, be sure to subscribe. Yes, I will get round to uploading that short showing how the barrow minimum selector works on the real aircraft, because everyone always asks me that, so it'll be quite cool. Maybe it will get implemented in one of either the Zebra Mod or PMDG 737 in the future, who knows. But that's been a great evening, and I've really enjoyed and asking these questions, guys. Do keep them coming in during streams. It really pokes and prods my knowledge, which is good, and it helps me refresh things that I need to know, so I really appreciate it. Right then, guys, that's it. I'll see you all again very soon. Good night from me.